A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry of the Circus. Jerry of the Circus.
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah, Boss?
What are you doing?
Just playing with Rags. Why?
I just saw Bennett walk over to his wagon with a mail bag. Why don't you run over there and see if we got any mail?
All right. You keep Rags here with you. No, you can't go. You stay here and keep Bumps company.
Here, Rags. You just sit right here for a minute. Jerry will be right back.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
No. Take it easy, Rags. He's just going over to the office wagon. It's you, Pat. Oh, golly, you hadn't ought to sneak up on an old man like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bumps. Where's Jerry?
Oh, he just went over to see if Jim had any mail for us.
Oh, that's right. It is time for the mail.
Yeah, I just saw him come across the lot with the mail bag.
I was kind of expecting a letter for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's so?
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, Bumps, here comes Jerry now. Just look at that boy run.
Oh, I guess he's getting in practice so he can challenge you again.
Goodness, he's fast.
Say, he's got up a lot of steam, all right.
Come on, Jerry, come on. We're betting on you.
Am I winning?
Say, you won.
Well, I got going so fast I couldn't stop.
Oh, you pretty near got ahead of your shadow that time.
Well, any mail for us, Jerry?
We didn't get anything, but I got a letter from Mr. Bradley.
Oh, then the trip wasn't wasted, eh?
You don't know if there was a letter for me, do you, Jerry?
I didn't ask. I don't know, Patsy.
I'll take a walk over there in a minute.
Is that Johnny's letter?
Yeah,
What kind of a stamp is that on?
Let's see. Oh, it's a special delivery. I didn't notice that.
Well, you'd best take that right over to him, Jerry. It might be something important.
Okay. Come on, Rags. See you in a little while, Patsy.
All right, Jerry.
Come on, Rags. Come on. Well, hurry up, then. Is he there? Wait a minute. I'll see.
Hello.
It's Jerry, Mr. Bradley.
Oh, come in, Jerry.
I've got a letter for you. It's a special delivery.
Thank you, Jerry.
Should I close the door?
What? Oh, no. Never mind. Just leave it open. Say.
What is it?
Why, this is from my boy.
Did he get the money already?
Wait until I glance over this, Jerry.
Well, I don't see how you could get an answer so soon if it had to go all the way to New York first.
Jerry, he's getting married tomorrow. Tomorrow, Jerry. This letter has been delayed. They didn't forward it right on to me. And listen to this. And we would love to have you present at the wedding. I've just made a wonderful connection, and my practice is doing fine.
Oh, that's keen.
And then he says, we are moving into a big house and have reserved a room just for you. Please try to be here for the wedding and plan on staying with us. Please, Dad.
Mr. Bradley, what's the matter? Mr. Bradley? Now what'll I do? Bumps! Patsy! Oh, where did they go? Mr. Randall! Oh, Mr. Randall!
Yes, Jerry?
Come here, quick.
What's the trouble?
It's Mr. Bradley. Something's happened to him.
What's that you say, Jerry?
Something's happened to Mr. Bradley.
Why, Johnny! Johnny!
All of a sudden, he fell over.
Get some water there in that pitcher, Jerry.
Okay.
Johnny! Why, what's the trouble, old boy?
Here you are.
Yeah. All right, slip that pillow under his head. Here, Johnny, drink this.
What's the matter with him?
Oh, just another one of his heart spells, Jerry. I guess he sort of fainted. He'll come around all right. Yeah. All right, Johnny, you'll be all right now. Now, take it easy.
I must have...
Now, just be quiet. Here, take another drink.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Randall.
All right now. Well, what happened, Johnny? What brought this on?
He just got a letter from his son.
Oh, something
Oh,
wrong?
no. He's getting married tomorrow.
What? Well, that's not so bad, is it?
No, of course not. I really don't know what made me. I'm very sorry.
Oh,
sir.
there's nothing to be sorry about, Johnny. Why, you just can't get excited. Now, you know that.
Here, read this, Mr. Randall.
Yeah, all right.
I didn't know what happened to you, Mr. Bradley. You started to shake, and then you got real light, and you fell over on the cot.
Well, this is one of Rose's predictions come true.
What do you mean?
Remember? She told me I'd have a surprise and warned me not to get excited.
That's right, she did.
Oh, this is wonderful news, Johnny. Well, this is a marvelous opportunity for you.
What's that?
Why, your boy says he's doing fine, and he wants you to come and live with him.
Oh, no, Mr. Randall. I don't think that's the exact place for an old man.
Now, wait a minute, Johnny.
Well, can I do anything?
No, thanks, Jerry.
Then I'd better be getting over to the horse stop and get to work. I hope you'll feel better, Mr. Bradley.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. Thank you.
Well, bye then. See you later.
Goodbye, Jerry. Now listen, Johnny. Some time ago, you told me you wanted to stay with the circus just long enough to see your boy established in business.
Yes, I remember.
Well, he's doing fine now, and he wants you to come and live with him. Why don't you go, Johnny?
It's meant so much to me, Mr. Randall. I mean, the circus. Oh, I can't bear the thought of leaving it, and all my fine friends.
Oh, I understand how you feel, but this is something fine for you. Not only for you, but for your boy as well. Don't you see it that way, Johnny?
Well, sir, I suppose I have outlived my usefulness around the circus.
Why, nonsense. Why, that isn't it at all. It's that you're not well and you need a rest. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. You'd like to be at that boy's wedding, wouldn't you?
Oh, I would, Mr. Randall. But that can't be. He's getting married tomorrow.
Now, wait a minute. There's a plane out of here tonight at midnight. It'll get you in Jackson City before noon tomorrow.
I couldn't afford an aeroplane trip.
Now, listen to this, Johnny. Listen. You've got a bonus coming.
A bonus? What for?
Well, I thought of giving you a raise in salary a while back, but then I decided to save up that difference in your pay and give it to you in one lump sum. You'll have enough for the trip by plane and a tidy little amount left.
Mr. Randall, this is all happening so quickly.
Oh, now, take it easy. Take it easy, Johnny.
Then this is my last day with the circus?
Yes, Johnny. It's best that way. Tonight you do your final performance and go on to a better life. You'll see. You'll be happy, Johnny. Tonight at midnight you take that plane for Jackson City.
See those lights up ahead, Bumps?
Oh, I guess that's the airport, Patsy.
Already?
Only too soon, Jerry.
No, that's not it.
Oh, say, Johnny.
Yes, Bums?
I want to tell you that tonight's performance was the finest I've ever seen you turn in. Say, you were great, Johnny.
And did you hear that applause? Oh, Johnny, the audience simply went wild.
That's nice of you to say that.
Well, it's true. Everybody was talking about your act.
I was saving the best for the last. Maybe I did try a little harder tonight.
Even Lulu was more lively than usual.
Oh, by the way, Johnny, what did you do with that duck of yours?
I gave her to Hooligan, Bumps. He always liked her so, and he'll be good to her.
Oh, sure he will.
Why, Johnny Bradley, you big baby. You're crying.
No, I'm...
Oh, now, buck up, Johnny. I know it's tough leaving all the folks and things that have been so dear to you for so long, but everything's just going to work out fine for you.
I know, Bumps. I guess I'm just over-sentimental.
I should think you'd be all excited riding an airplane. I wish I could go up in one.
I am leaving in grand style. And it's awfully nice of you to come out here with me and see me off.
It just couldn't be any other way.
I'll never forget you folks. And your kindness to me.
We won't be forgetting Johnny Bradley either.
I'll say we won't. When we get on the train tonight, we'll miss you. And tomorrow when we set up in our next stand, it'll seem funny if you're not around the backyard.
And it's going to seem funny to me not having to put on a makeup tomorrow. I haven't missed a day in many years.
Your face will appreciate the rest, Johnny.
Hey, look. That's the airport now. See the big light in that tower?
Yeah, that's it, all right.
What time is it?
Yeah, no, wait a minute. Let me see. It's just a few minutes to 12. We'll just about make it.
What time does your train pull out?
We leave at 1:15, don't we, Bumps?
Yeah, that's right. And we'll have plenty of time to make it back.
That's a nice-looking airport.
It's like a railroad station, isn't it?
Yeah, well, here we are. Come on, hop out, Jerry.
Okay.
Here, Jerry, you take one of these grips for Johnny.
Yeah, and I'll get the others.
Well, have you got everything now?
Uh-huh. Come on. There's a plane out there now.
I'll go over here and pick up my ticket. Excuse me, please.
Oh, he's taking it pretty hard, Patsy.
I guess the circus has meant an awful lot to him.
I should think he'd be glad to get a rest after working all of his life.
Well, show folks don't look at it that way, Jerry. They all want to live and die in the harness.
Oh, they're loading the plane now. I guess that's the one.
Golly, isn't it big?
Yeah, 14 passengers.
Here you are, Porter. Those 2 brown bags. I'll take that little black one in the seat with me.
Yeah, I'll give you a check to the stewardess, sir.
All set. Come on now.
It's exciting, isn't it, Johnny?
I guess it's a sort of thrill for me at that.
Your ticket, sir?
Here you are, sir.
Thank you. Seat 7.
Well, Johnny, I guess this is goodbye.
It's better to say I'll be seeing you.
Yes, Jerry. Much better.
Well, have a nice trip, Johnny.
So long, Johnny. And drop us a note and tell us all about the wedding.
You bet I will. Well, I'll be seeing you all.
So long.
And watch my window, Jerry.
What did he say?
He wants you to watch his window. I guess he's going to wave to us.
Oh, there he is now. See? You see him? In that third window there.
There he goes.
I'd kind of like to be going up in the air myself. This is kind of getting me.
I think Johnny's enjoying it, too. He seemed a little brighter the minute he saw the plane.
Here it comes now. It's off the ground.
Look, Jerry. Johnny's opening his window.
What's he got in his hand?
Hey, he's throwing something out. Look, it's a little parachute.
And it's got something hanging onto it.
That's what Johnny meant when he told you to watch his window, Jerry. It's something for you.
I'm going to run out and get it.
Wait. It's going to land right over there. Oh, it's a little box, Jerry.
I'm going to get it.
Now, isn't that just like Johnny?
Yeah. Well, what is it, Jerry?
Oh, I don't know.
What does it look like?
He made a little parachute out of a handkerchief, and here's a box tied to it.
Well, what's it say there on that little card?
Let's see. For Jerry, so you'll always remember Johnny Bradley.
Now, isn't that nice?
Yeah. Say, we'd best be getting back. We got to catch our train. Come on.
Well, aren't you going to open the box, Jerry?
Well, I'll open it on the way back to town. Golly, I wonder what's in it.
Jack Benny program, presented by Lucky Strike.
Quality of product is essential to continuing success.
American.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, so round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
LSMFT, LSMFT, LSMFT.
Right you are.
Yes, sir.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, and fine tobacco means real deep-down smoking enjoyment for you.
Yes, it takes fine tobacco to make a fine cigarette. And year after year, at market after market, the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco.
Fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And fine tobacco means real deep-down smoking enjoyment for you. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
American.
The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, last Sunday, Jack Benny started his 15th year in radio. All week long, he's been receiving letters and telegrams of congratulation, and his friends in Hollywood have been constantly calling him. So now let's go out to Jack's home in Beverly Hills, where we find him talking on the phone.
Oh, it wasn't that good. What? Oh, Ingrid. You're so kind, and coming from you, it's a great compliment. You know, Ingrid, praise is the lifeblood of an actor, so, thanks for the transfusion. Well, thanks so much for calling. It was so sweet of you. By the way, Ingrid, I hope I'm not being too presumptuous, but may I take you to lunch Thursday? I may? Oh, no, Ingrid, I won't forget. Goodbye. Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
Mark this down. Lunch Thursday with Ingrid Krausmeyer. At 1 o'clock.
Is that Krausmeyer, boss?
Yeah, she works at Republic. She's in charge of the saddles. Well, I certainly feel happy getting all these telephones. Oh, there it goes again. Oh, well, that's the price of fame. Hello? Yes, this is Mr. Benny. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Another one of my fans. You know, Rochester, I appreciate people calling me up and telling me how good I was, but it can get a little annoying.
You didn't have that trouble with the horn blows at midnight.
You can kid all you want to, Rochester, but that picture will go down in history.
It sure will. That's the first thing Gromiko ever walked out on.
Well, Gromiko walked out on that picture because he doesn't understand English.
His interpreter was leading him.
All right.
And Molotov was right behind him.
That's enough. I'm going into the library. Oh, darn it. Sometimes I wonder if it's worth all this. Hello? Yes, this is Mr. Benny. What? I mailed that yesterday. Oh, yeah? Well, you can't disconnect it while I'm talking on it. What? You're up on the pole now? Well, put away those snippers and get down from there. I told you I mailed it. How do you like that? Rochester, do you know there was a man up on the telephone pole?
You mean Sam?
Oh, you know him?
Sure, he goes up there first of every month.
Say, Rochester, what time is it?
It's about 11:15.
Good. The World Series will be on pretty soon. I want to hear it. I'll listen to it in the... Oh, there goes that phone again. You answer it, Rochester. Tell him I'm not at home.
Yes, sir. Hello? No, I'm sorry, but Mr. Benny's not at home. Who? Thank you. I'll tell him you called.
Who was it, Rochester?
It was Ingrid Bergman this time.
What? Give me that phone. Hello? Not you, and get down off that pole. Hello? Hello? Rochester, why didn't you call me?
You told me to say you were out.
Just wait till you get a call.
But, boss, you told me to say you...
Never mind what I told you. You should know if I'll talk to Krausmeyer, I'll talk to Bergman. I'm going into the other room and listen to the World Series.
Okay.
And, Rochester, early this morning I put in a long-distance call to New York, so plug the phone in the library.
Yes, sir.
Gee, I wonder if St. Louis will win the... Well, I'll know pretty soon. I'll answer it, Rochester. Take back your rumba, your samba, your conga,
Hello, Jack.
Well, hello, Mary. Come on in. You're just in time. I'm going to listen to the World Series.
The World Series? Who's playing?
Boston against Ingrid Bergman. Boston and St. Louis. Come on in the library.
Say, Jack, did you read the wonderful things the critics said about your opening program?
Well, no, Mary. After all, I've been on the air for 15 years, and I feel that when I have a show to do, I just go out and do the best I can, and I don't concern myself with what the critics say.
Then why have they got the reviews pasted on your glasses?
Those are the lineups for today's game. I want to have them handy. Well, the game ought to be on pretty soon.
Oh, Jack, before I forget it, I got a letter from Mama yesterday.
Your mother? Well, what did the truculent turtle of Plainfield have to say?
She mentioned your first broadcast, and she liked it very much.
She did? Your mother? That sweet little gray-haired old lady who fractured your father's skull like my phone?
Yeah, and she even took the bandages off so Papa could hear it.
Well, that was nice.
And Jack.
Yeah. What is it, Mary?
Oh, Mama was so cute. She said she was preparing dinner when she listened to the radio, and while your program was on, she peeled 4 pounds of onions.
Oh, fine. Listening to me and peeling onions.
Mama said she was laughing on the inside and crying on the outside.
Hey, that's pretty good. But you know, Mary, if your mother thought last week's show was something, wait till she hears the one we got for this week.
But, Jack, how do you get your strips if your writers are still stranded on the gambling ship?
I sit on the beach and they wigwag them to me. The scripts are over there on the table, Mary. You better take a look at them.
Okay.
Just brush the sand off. Let's see, I wonder what station the World Series will be on. It should be around...
Oh, for heaven's sake, Jack, I'm not going to do this gag here.
Where?
Right here on page 3. It's too corny.
Mary, that's a topical joke, and we have to do that kind of stuff.
I don't care if it is topical. I'm not going to say that you have to go out with a girl in Brooklyn because you can't dodge her.
Dodger, don't you get it, Mary? The Brooklyn Dodgers. That's a baseball joke.
Well, I'm not going to do it.
All right. If you don't want the gag, I'll give it to Dennis. He'll be very happy with it.
Dennis is happy if he looks in a mirror and he's there.
Look, Mary, I don't want to discuss it now. The game will be on pretty soon. I want to listen to it.
Okay. Say, wait a minute, Jack. What's that black crepe on your radio for?
Fred Allen comes back on the air today.
He does? What time?
We light the candles at 5:30. Well, we still got a few minutes before the game. Let's get some music, anyway. Get the ball game. I wonder who's going to pitch for St. Louis.
Look on your glasses and see.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have Paulette scheduled, but then you never can tell. Oh, there goes the phone again. Mary, it's been like this all week long. Congratulations, compliments. I've never seen anything like it. Hello? Yes, this is Mr. Benny. Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Goodbye.
Who was it?
There'll be a 2-hour delay on my call to New York.
Well, don't let it go to your head. They say that to everybody.
Yes, but the way she said it, I knew she liked my program. Oh, Rochester, do me a favor, will you, please?
Yes, boss.
Pick up these scripts and put them in my briefcase. I don't want to forget them when I go to the studio.
Yes, sir. I'll put them right next to your Christmas card samples.
Good, good.
Say, Jack, when I was looking through the script before, I didn't see a commercial.
I know, Mary, and I don't know what to do about it. Don Wilson got me to hire that lousy quartet and put them under contract for 8 weeks at $500 a week. For $500, all they did was, Imagine 4 big jerks going, and one bigger jerk paying them.
Well, why don't you break their contract?
I don't know how.
Well, how did Warner Brothers do it to you?
They didn't break my contract. They just burned down my dressing room. I'll never forget the look on Jack Warner's face when he found out I wasn't in it at the time. And when do you think they... Oh, there's the phone again. Hello? Yes? Well, thank you. Thanks very much. And you also like me on Dennis Day's program? Well, that's awfully sweet. Goodbye.
Who is that?
Dennis. Coming over here pretty soon. Well, it's almost time for the World Series. I might as well try and...
Hey, Jack, look out the window. Here comes Don Wilson with that quartet.
Oh, yes. I wonder what they want now. Come in!
Hello, Jack. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Don.
Say, Jack, look who I brought with me.
I know. Hello, fellas. That's what I mean. Don, I'm glad you brought the quartet over. I want to talk to you about them.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? I'm not going to keep paying $500 a week just to hear them go, during a commercial.
Well, Jack, at the end of our show last week, when you kicked me in the stomach, I suspected you weren't quite satisfied.
You bet I wasn't satisfied. I'm not going to pay $500 for a quartet for one note. And another...
Now, Jack, calm down. I've got it all fixed up now. That's why I brought the boys over. Now, here's the way we're going to do our commercial today.
Look, Don, I don't want these
Just
fellas...
listen to this, Jack. Listen to it. Now, I'm sure you'll like it.
Yes, Jack, give him a chance.
All right.
Now, here's the way we'll do it. Get set, boys. Here we go. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
LSMFT. La 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 la. LSMFT. La 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 la.
Go round.
Don, that's not what I want.
Back. Go free and easy on the draw.
That's not what I want. LSMFT. La 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 la.
Lucky Strike is that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco.
Don.
So for real deep down smoking enjoyment, it's
LSMFT. La 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 la. LSMFT. La 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 la. Ay ay ay.
Wait a minute.
LSMFT.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. For heaven's sake. I mean, what kind of a commercial do you call that? I mean, what's the matter with you guys? Don, listen to me, will you please? Will you please listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Don, just once. Look, Don, can't you understand that isn't what I want? That's corny. $500. Well, I can get a better singers out of Ellis Island.
What island?
Ellis.
Ellis.
Now, cut that out! And married. You didn't have to trick me into that. Now, listen to me, Wilson. This is all your idea, not mine. And if you think for 1 minute that I'm going to... Hello? Yes? Thank you. Thanks very much. It was so nice of you to tell me. Goodbye. Now, Wilson, if you think for 1 minute that I'm going...
Who is that, Jack?
It's only an hour delay now. Don, if you think for 1 minute that I'm going to be stuck with this quartet, you're crazy. And to show you I mean what I say, I know how to break their contract.
Jack, put down those matches.
I can't help it, I'm mad.
Oh, boss, if you want to hear the World Series, it'll be on pretty soon.
Okay. Thanks, Rochester.
The World Series. Jack, do you mind if we stay and listen?
I guess not, Don. Now, let's see. I think the game comes over station. Hello?
That's the door buzzer.
Come in. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, everybody.
Look, Jack, Dennis brought his father with him.
Imagine him coming here in his old greasy overalls. How do you do, Mr. Day?
That's my mother. She just came from work.
How do you do, Mrs. Day?
How do you do? Now, remember, Mother, you promised you wouldn't hit him.
Hit me?
Yeah, there's something about you that brings out the beast in her.
Now, Mrs. Day, I don't know what you have in mind, but I'd like to talk to you some other time. Right now, I want to listen to...
You listen to me first.
All right, and put down that wrench. Now, what is it?
Well, Mr. Benny, now that my Dennis is a star on his own show, you must uphold his dignity by giving him more lines, more songs, his own dressing room. And at all times, he must be treated with the utmost respect.
Yeah, utmost.
Now, look, Mrs. Day. Now, you listen to me. You can run Dennis's life if you want to, but you're not going to run mine.
Gee, Mr. Benny, my father wouldn't dare talk to her like that.
Your father. What a weakling he must be. Where'd your mother ever get him, anyway?
Eastern Columbia, Broadway at night.
Gee, they have everything. Now, Mrs. Day, look, I don't want to talk any more about it, and that's settled.
All right, if that's the way you feel about it, come on, Dennis, we'll go home.
Dennis stays right here. I want to hear the song he's going to do on my program.
Very well, but I'm leaving. I'll wait for you outside, Dennis. Goodbye.
Gee, she's a character, isn't she?
I'll say she is. Now, go ahead, Dennis. I want to hear the song you're going to do.
Okay.
I have trouble with everybody.
Coming back like a song, a song that keeps saying, remember, the sweet used to be, that was once you and me.
Very, very good, Dennis. By the way, you just recorded that number, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's swell. Now, we're going to listen to the World Series, kid. You want to stay?
No, I better run along. The character is waiting for me.
Okay. So long, kid.
Come on, Jack. The game must be starting about now.
All right. I'll turn it on. Now, let's see.
And now a message from our sponsor, the Happy Home Sweet Home Real Estate Company.
Friends, do you have a roof over your head, or have you been roughing it in a La Brea tar pit? Don't pay the exorbitant prices for houses that are being asked today by our competitors. Don't go out blindly and be hooked by just anyone. Come to us. Remember, we are your friends.
Jack.
Wait a minute. I want to hear this.
Listen to this week's special offer. For only $67,000, you can get a beautiful California Monterey-style Quonset hut.
See, they've gone down.
Jack, get the ball game.
Okay.
In a quaint caravan, there's a lady they call She can look in the future and drive away all your fears. Everything.
No, John, don't leave me. I beg you. I implore you. Please, John, I love you. I love you.
Hey, this sounds interesting.
John, if you no longer care for me, think of the children. Think of William, Linda, Milton, Jeanette, Percy, Ellen, Hilda, Stephen, Ken, Peggy, Harriet, Margaret, Richard, Dorothy, and little 4-year-old Herbert, our eldest.
Herbert is only 4 years old?
Jack, the ball game.
Oh, I thought she was giving the lineup.
She looked at my hand and told me my lover was always true.
Why can't I get it?
Think of it, ladies and gentlemen. A California Monterey-style Quonset hut for only...
I wish I knew what station that ball game is on. I don't know why I can't.
No, John, don't leave me. All day long I do the housework. Not to mention the mending for William, Linda, Milton, Jeanette, Percy, Ellen, Hilda,
She thinks I'm going to wait for Herbert. She's crazy. I must find the ball game.
But I'll go there again, 'cause I want to believe that gypsy, the way she shakes her tambourine.
Oh, what's the matter? I can't seem to get it.
Hiya, Jackson. Hello, everybody.
Hey, hello, Phil. Phil, sit down a minute, will you? I'm trying to get the ball game. Hey, Phil, you haven't forgotten about our bet, have you?
Of course not.
How much did you bet, Jack?
Well, it wasn't money. You see, Phil has St. Louis, I have Boston, and the winner gets to kiss Betty Grable.
What about the loser?
He holds Harry James.
Yeah.
Well, if Jack wins, who's going to hold Betty Grable?
Don't be funny. Sit down, Phil. Maybe I can get the game now.
No, I'm sorry, Jackson, but I can't stay. You see, I just dropped in to invite you to a little stag party we're giving for Frankie, my guitar player. He's getting married.
Frankie's getting married?
Sure.
Well, who's he marrying, Phil?
Well, that little girl who plays the harp in my band.
Gee, imagine Frankie getting married. I didn't even know they were serious. I know he went out with her once.
Well, that's what did it. When he brought her home, her father was standing on the front porch with a clarinet, and Frank thought it was a shotgun.
Well, that's a logical mistake. Don't rush off, Phil. Sit down and listen to the game.
Sorry, Jackson, I got to run along. I'll see you at the party.
Okay, but I'll get there a little late. I'm on Charlie McCarthy's program today.
Okay, so long, everybody.
Goodbye, Phil.
So long, Phil. Give my regards to Alice.
Alice, M.S.T.
Now be quiet and we'll hear the game.
The gypsy. You look in the future and drive away
Oh, for
all
heaven's
your
sake.
fears.
If you buy one of our lovely homes for $67,000, you'll have room for the whole family, including William, Linda, Milton, Jeanette, Percy, Ellen, Hilda, Stephen.
Oh, John, what's come over you? You've changed so. You were never like this until we moved into this California Monterey-style Quonset hut.
There's something wrong with this radio. Hey, what's that?
Here we are in the third inning of this very crucial first World Series game.
That's it. I've got it.
A hush falls over the crowd. The count is 2-3, and here comes the pitch. It's a long drive out to left field. Williams is going back. He can't get it. It's a hit, and Greenberg's on third.
Greenberg? That was last year's game.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Greenberg's on third. The bases are now loaded, and coming up to bat is the Gypsy.
The Gypsy? Oh, this is all mixed up. I'll read about it in the paper. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say a few words about the USO fundraising drive for 1947. The war is not yet over for 200,000 veterans still in our hospitals, to say nothing of the men sweating out their discharges, the troops overseas, the teenage soldiers away from home for the first time. The USO has served them well, and it has been a big responsibility, and it will be ahead for next year. Let's continue to support our veterans by giving generously to the USO through your community chest or your local USO campaign. Thank you.
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first, here is my good friend, F.E. Boone.
American. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, and in a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. Independent tobacco experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen really know tobacco. For example, Mr. Herbert T. Highsmith, independent tobacco buyer of Robertsonville, North Carolina, has bought and sold tobacco for 15 years. He said,
"Season after season, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy quality tobacco, fine tobacco with real flavor, smooth, ripe, and mild. So for myself, I picked Lucky's. I've smoked them for 15 years.
Quote, season after season, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy quality tobacco. Unquote. Yes, year after year, independent tobacco experts like Mr. Highsmith can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco.
Fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
LSMFT, LSMFT, LSMFT.
Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
The famous tobacco auctioneers are on tonight's programmer, Mr. F.E. Boone of Lexington, Kentucky.
That's 6A, American.
Mr. L.A. Speed Riggs of Goldsboro, North Carolina.
American.
Basil Rysdale speaking for Lucky Strike, the cigarette that means fine tobacco.
Hello? Oh, my New York call? Yes, I'm ready. Hello? Hello? Yes, this is Jack Benny. Well, what about my offer? No, I can't do it. I can't do it. $50 is all right, $60. Okay, it's a deal. Goodbye.
Jack, who is that?
I just bought the Brooklyn Dodgers.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
Good health to all from Rexall. Yes, it's Sunday, time for the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, presented by the makers of Rexall Drug Products and 10,000 independent Rexall family druggists.
Good evening. This is your Rexall family druggist taking a little time from behind the prescription counter this Sunday evening
to speak for all 10,000 of us. The 10,000 independent druggists who have added the word Rexall to our own store names. You can always tell us by the orange and blue Rexall sign on our windows. The sign means that we carry the 2,000 or more drug products made by the Rexall Drug Company. They range all the way from aspirin to penicillin, and they're as fine and pure and dependable as science can make them. We independent druggists recommend them to our customers because we know you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall. Good health to all from Rexall. And now your Rexall family druggist brings you the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Walter Sharp in his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. A few years ago, Alice gave up pictures so she could devote her time to her husband and children. However, 20th Century Fox is anxious to have her make another movie. And as we look in, two of the executives at the studio are discussing ways and means of getting Alice to return to the fold.
Cyrus, we've been sending Miss Faye scripts. She likes them, but she just won't do a picture. Now, why?
It's not her fault, Darryl. It's that husband of hers. You know, that guy she uses as a stooge on a radio program. What's his name again?
Phil Harris.
That's the schnook. He doesn't want her to make another picture. He's probably jealous because he's never been in pictures.
Oh, wait a minute. I've got an idea.
Huh?
I hear he's a ham. Maybe he'd let Alice make a picture if we gave him a part in it.
Darryl, please, you know I've got a weak stomach. The public sat through triple features, bank night, keno, and free dishes. But this they won't take without a fight.
If it'll get Miss Faye back in pictures, it's worth it. Let's sign him up.
I'm against it.
Well, look, there's a small part for Harris in the script we sent Miss Faye yesterday.
How small?
As the picture opens, he says 2 words, "Goodbye, Myrtle," then he drops dead. That's all he says.
Does he have to say anything? Can't he just wave goodbye?
I'll try anything to get Alice back in pictures. I'm going up to my office to call Harris and tell him to come down for a test this afternoon.
Phil, I just got through reading the script the studio sent me, and it's a very good part for me. And they offered me a lot of money.
I don't care about the money. I don't want you to make another picture, and that's final. When you're married, you should devote your time to your family. Now, why do you think I never made a picture?
Because nobody ever asked you?
I was wondering how long it would take little Bo to peep. Willie, just keep on with your crocheting, will you? If you don't, you'll never finish that sachet bag by Christmas.
Willie, I'm glad Phil feels the way he does. It's nice to know he thinks more of the children and me than he does of money. I think he's wonderful.
Oh, you're just saying that because you're stuck with him.
That's beside the point. No, he really is wonderful because he's a man of principle. He's independent and he thinks of nothing but his family.
Yes. I'm as fine and pure and dependable as science can make me. Alice, will you do me a favor? Promise me you won't make another picture.
All right. I promise you I won't make another picture unless you ask me to.
Well, don't worry. I'll never ask you to. I'll get it. The moon would have to turn green before I'd ask you to make another movie. And I got a good mind to call that studio and tell them to stop sending Alice scripts. Hello. Yeah, this is Phil Harris. Oh, 20th Century Fox, huh? I'm just about to call you guys. Look, Bob, I want you to stop sending scripts to Alice. I don't care who you want to put in the picture. I'm not... Who? Little old mass of ringlets, me? Oh, Darryl, this is so sudden. Well, I hadn't planned on making a picture, but I guess it is my patriotic duty. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you need someone who can bring that Academy Award back to this country. Mr. Zanuck, did you swallow something? Huh? Well, you sound like you're choking. What? No. Oh, I don't mind if Alice is in the picture, too. Kid's got talent. Okay, I'll see you at the studio at 3 o'clock. Goodbye, and thanks very much, Mr. Zanuck. Oh, boy, at last they found me. At last that old silver screen beckons. Wait till I tell Alice that they found... Oh, no. I just told her I never wanted to make another...
Bill, who called?
Called? Oh, it was some guy. He said I just won Lake Michigan in a Turkish towel. Pay no attention to it. It didn't mean...
Oh, Phil, stop it. Who called?
You know something, honey? You know, I've been thinking. You know, it's selfish of me to tell you that you can't make a picture when I know that you're just dying to make one, aren't you?
No.
Well, let me put it this way. Now, look, suppose that
Phil,
you...
answer my question. Who was that the conefall was from?
You better get your teeth fixed before you go back to... If you ever walk in there with that revolving bridge, Take it once more, but let me stand back. Now, go ahead. I'm out of range now.
Phil, who called you on the telephone?
You called me on the telephone? Now, let's go back up to the top of the page. Now, we'll start from the top. Oh, kid, you got to get some sleep, you hear? You've been hanging around with your brother. Get away from her, will you? Give the kid a chance. You've been hanging around with Willie, too.
Phil, who called you on the telephone?
Nobody called me on the telephone. What are you trying to... All right. If you must know, it was 20th century. Darryl Zanuck wants me to make a picture, and he'd like to have you in it, too, Alice.
Oh, so that's it. They offered you a part, providing you could get Alice to make the picture.
That ain't so. I insisted on Alice. They wanted me to play the romantic lead opposite Betty Grable or Linda Darnell. But I wouldn't think of making love to anybody but my own wife. It wouldn't be any fun.
Oh, Oywin. Phil, what picture did they want you for?
Well, they want me to play the lead in the story that they sent you.
The lead? Well, they told me Tyrone Power was going to play the lead.
Well, they changed their minds. Tyrone's too old for the part.
Phil, did they tell you were going to play the lead?
Oh, honey, do I have to be told the obvious? It's got to be the starring role. Look, Alice, they want me at the studio at 3 o'clock for a screen test. Now, I'm going upstairs and get dressed. You better get ready, too.
Well, Phil, I don't think they... Oh, I wish Phil wouldn't jump to conclusions like that. The studio told me Tyrone Power was going to play the lead. They probably want Phil for a very small part.
Oh, dear, I can just see Philip on the screen.
Well, I'm not going to let them do a thing like that to Phil. I'll see who it is. I've got to stop him from going out to the studio and making a fool of him.
Hi, Curly. Curly, you look different this morning.
Maybe it's because I'm Alice.
Oh, yeah.
What's the matter with you, Frankie?
I can't see too well this morning. I was up all night working on a scientific problem. Made 52 experiments.
Were you successful?
Oh, yeah. I got a mark now, so you can't tell them from a good day. Curly?
Oh, he's upstairs. And, Frankie, guess what?
What?
20th Century Fox offered Phil a part in one of their pictures.
Ooh, what a dirty trick to play on their stockholders.
You know, Phil thinks it's a big part, but I know it's just a small bit. And when he finds out, it's going to hurt him. Frankie, you've just got to keep him from going to the studio. Tell him he's not the type for pictures.
But maybe he is. I couldn't tell an untruth like that.
Please, Frankie, just tell him that he's too old for pictures. He's not good-looking enough, and he has no talent or personality.
Oh, well, okay, as long as I don't have to lie. What?
Frankie, tell him how tough the work is. Point out how hard I had to work. Exaggerate a little.
Alice, did you see my shaving cream? Hi, hello, Frankie.
Hi, Curly.
Hey, Remley, I got news for you. It's going to make you very proud of me. Just got a call from 20th Century Fox. They want me to come out and make a screen test.
What's the matter, of flies getting into the studio?
Still cute, aren't you? Still the one. Just joke after joke. Just come right on. Oh, you're a bear, Clyde. I got news for you. They want me to star in a picture.
Oh. Well, let me be the first to offer my condolences.
What do you mean, condolences?
Pictures are a tough grind. You have to be at the studio at 6 o'clock in the morning. Stand under those hot lights all day doing the same scene over and over again. The pressure's terrific, and it makes a physical wreck of you.
Not only that, it'll make you old before your time.
Sure, look what it did to Alice.
Yeah, but that don't mean it'll happen to me. Besides, Alice don't look too old.
Curly, have you looked at her under a strong light? She told me to exaggerate.
Oh, what's the matter with you two guys? Don't you people want me to make a picture? Are you jealous because I've been offered a starring role?
Oh, Phil, you might be building yourself up to an awful letdown. They seldom take a newcomer and put him in a starring role.
They do when they get a chance at somebody unusual.
Oh, but Phil, that only happens once in a lifetime.
And how often do you think something like me happens?
You know, Alice, we're lucky to be living at such a wonderful age. Just think, we've seen the invention of the airplane, the automobile, indoor plumbing, and Phil Harris.
Go ahead and laugh. But let me tell you something, friends. This little curly head of mine will be the cutest thing to hit pictures since Shirley Temple.
That's disgusting.
Hey, Alice. Hey, honey, which profile do you like better, my left or my right side? I'll just tilt my head to one side there. Like, what do you think?
Hello, everybody. Mr. Harris, what are you holding your head like that for?
He's got a kink.
Well, he finally gave himself a pain in the neck.
Hey, show a little respect, grocery boy. You are now gazing upon the new idol of the silver screen. How would you like to see me in a movie? What's that?
You just heard a testimonial from your fan club.
Oh, you're all against me, huh? Well, scoff, if you will. But you'll all change your minds when I become a great dramatic actor.
Dramatic actor?
Yes, from now on, I'm not going to be a comedian.
From now on, he says. Where are you going to learn to be a dramatic actor?
I don't have to learn. That stuff comes natural to me. I've got drama in my blood.
Yeah? Bleed me a short sentence. Well, don't stand there, Mac. Open a vein and get started.
Oh, Phil, you're not serious about doing dramatic.
You're darn right I am, and nobody's going to talk me out of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going upstairs and finish dressing so we can get out to that studio.
Oh, Alice, if he tries to do dramatics, they'll laugh him off the screen.
I know. There must be some way we can... Say, wait, I've got it.
Hmm?
I know everybody at Fox. I'll call them and tell them to give Phil the works when we get there for the screen test.
You're going to the studio too, Miss Faye? You're going to make another picture?
Well, I'm not sure, Julius.
Oh, I hope you do, Miss Faye. You were great in pictures. I still remember seeing you in Lily and Russell. I'd love to hear you sing that song you did in that picture. You know, the one that goes, Rosie, you are my posy. Rosie, my heart's desire.
When you give me all your kisses, then I know what love and bliss is.
Come out into the moonlight. All right. Then let me sing it, huh?
All right, go ahead and send me, soulmate.
Rosie, you are my posy. You are my heart's bouquet. Come out here in the moonlight. There are some love words I want to say. Your honey child is waiting. Rosy lips to breathe. Now don't be so aggravating, my blushing Rosie, sweet Rosie mine.
Please tell us, Rosie, sweet Rosie.
Gee, oh gosh, but you're so pretty, you're so smart, and you're so witty.
Are we your heart's bouquet?
You have simply got me crazy picking petals off a daisy.
Come out in the moonlight, where we can sit and talk all about you.
Can't you see that I adore you, that my heart is yearning for you?
Your honey child is waiting. Your ruby lips to kiss.
You've discovered just what bliss is from your ever-loving kisses.
Oh, don't be so aggravating, my blushing Rosie,
sweet Rosie mine.
Did you like that, Julius?
Oh, keep Daddy lit in the window, Mother. I'm flying home tonight. That was wonderful, Miss Faye.
Hey, Alice, you better get your coat on. I'll be ready to leave in a minute.
All right. And Frankie.
What?
I want you to come to the studio with us. You can help with my little scheme.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss this for anything.
Yeah, and in the meantime, I'd better call the studio and arrange things my way.
Hey, they got a nice studio here, Alice.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the best. Phil, are you sure you want to go through with this? Maybe you won't photograph well.
I won't Oh, Fanny, you fool, you. Hey, Frankie, enlighten this poor female. You've seen pictures of me. How's my face photographed?
Like a pound of raw hamburger. The kind that's been sitting in the showcase for a few days.
All right, Remley, all right, that's enough. I heard you. You know, it's important that I get this job, so don't make any cracks when we get on the set.
All right.
Well, here we are. This is the stage where we're supposed to meet Zanuck. Everybody on your toes. Let's go in.
Well, it looks like they're all ready for the...
Alice, darling!
Daryl, darling, and Spyrus, darling!
It's good to have you back at the studio, darling.
Hey, Remley, what's with that darling routine?
Everybody in pictures talks like that to each other. You'll have to do it, too.
Oh, Daryl and Spyrus, I want you to meet my husband, Phil Harris.
Hello.
How do you do?
I'm charmed to meet you, darlings.
And I'm Frankie Remley, the darlingest little guitar player you ever saw. How do you do?
Now, shall we talk about my part?
Alice, it's good to have you back on the lot. You know, you're one of the biggest stars we ever had.
Oh, thank you.
About my part.
Alice, you know, it was very nice of you to consent to make another picture for us.
About my part.
You look beautiful in Technicolor. You'll be wearing a period costume with a low-cut neckline.
In that case, I'll have to shave the hair off my chest. Kind of a part of my plan.
I forgot you were here. Glad to have you with us, Harris. I hope you like our studio.
Oh, it's wonderful, Mr. Zanuck. It's one of the nicest studios I've ever been in. Ain't it, Frankie?
I seem better. It's an adequate little outfit.
Frankie.
Little? This is one of the biggest studios in Hollywood. We make some of the finest motion pictures that appear on the screen, and we have some of the greatest stars.
Yeah? Who have you got?
Betty Grable, Tyrone Power, Linda Darnell, Dan Daly, Gene Crane.
Never mind the bit players. Name some stars. Have you got stars like Thomas Meehan, Clara Bow, Milton Sills, William S. Hart, Mae Murray, and J. Warren Kerrigan? Those are the stars I always see.
Mr. Remley, when was the last time you went to a movie theater?
I don't have to go to a movie theater. I got a television set.
Remley, will you keep quiet? Don't insult these people. I'm anxious to get this job.
All right.
Mr. Zanuck, we're all ready for my screen test.
Yes, we might as well get this over with. Joe, train your camera on Harris and see how he looks through the lens.
Okay, Mr. Zanuck.
Well?
Oh, Mr. Zanuck, you must be kidding. You don't want me to put film in the camera for this.
What does he mean?
Nothing. Joe, put a piece of gauze over the lens and then look at him.
Okay.
Hey, Alice, what's the gauze for? How'd he get hurt?
No, honey. Sometimes when your features are too harsh, it softens them for the camera. It makes you look better.
How does he look now?
Give me another piece of gauze. You better make that 2 pieces. Anybody got a burlap sack?
Wise guy. If it would make you happy, I could do this scene in the dark. You think that I just... Turn them lights on.
All right. Now, let's get started. Oh, wait, we'll need another man in this scene.
Oh, Frankie can play it.
Oh, very well. Here are your scripts. Now, in this scene, Alice, you're in Mr. Remley's apartment. He holds you in his arms, kisses you, and tells you he loves you.
Do I have to stick to the script, or can I ad-lib a little?
Just stick to the script, Remley, that's all. Mr. Zanuck, this is my screen test. What do I do?
You play the part of Miss Faye's husband. It's a big scene for you. You enter. You see your wife in the arms of this man. And you go berserk, pouring out all the pent-up emotion of jealousy, hatred, and vengeance that's been in your tortured heart for years.
I'm a little peeved at him, huh?
Yeah. Now, Alice, you get in Remley's arms. All you say is, I love you, darling. There's a knock at the door. Remley says, come in. Harris enters and goes into his big speech. All right, quiet on the set, everybody. Quiet. Roll 'em.
I love you, darling.
Oh, it's wonderful to hold you in my arms like this, Myrtle.
I feel the same way, Clyde.
Hold me a little closer, Myrt. And now, my sweet, I'm going to kiss you.
Remley, I'm knocking. Why don't you tell me to come in there?
What, spoil a good thing? Kidding? Oh, Myrtle, you're beautiful.
Well, if she's so beautiful, do you mind if I come in and take a fast look?
Now, fellas, let's...
Well, I can't help it. I keep knocking. The guy...
Remley, when he knocks, tell him to come in.
What's knocking you have to do?
I'll let you in.
Give me a stand-in to knock.
Harris, remember, as soon as the door opens, you go into your speech. You say, aha! At last I've caught you. Then you deliver your long tirade. Now, take it again, Alice. Roll 'em!
I love you, darling.
Come in.
Ah.
Cut!
Ah.
Oh, Harris, that was great. I love the way you underplayed that scene.
I might just as well played it underwater. How about the long speech,
Oh, that comes next. You see, there's been a terrific fight between you and Remley, and in the heat of the argument, he shot you 6 times through the heart. And as you lie on the floor dying, you beg them for water. They give it to you, then you make your big speech.
Oh, fine. With 6 bullet holes in my heart, I'm in great shape to make a big...
Well, you speak softly. See, that makes it very dramatic. Now lie down. All right, now roll 'em.
Clyde, you've shot my husband.
Water.
But he had it coming to him. For years he's been a beast. He beat me and tortured me, and I'm glad you did it. Glad.
Water.
But now you're rid of him, darling. You're free.
Water.
We'd better get out of here. I'll pack my bags and we'll go to my mother's place in Milwaukee.
Bear.
Clyde, he isn't dead yet. I just heard him talk.
Water.
Water, Clyde. That's the least we can do for him.
All right, here. Myrtle, I don't think we should have given him that water.
Why not?
The way it's running out of those bullet holes, he looks like a sprinkling can.
Well, what do we do with him?
Let's hang him over the bathtub, and I'll take a shower before we leave. No. Well, let's go. I can't stand the sight of his ugly face.
Wait, he's trying to say something.
Yes?
Let's listen.
Goodbye, Myrtle.
Cut! That's all! What do you mean, that's all? All I said was goodbye, Myrtle.
Oh, that was wonderful, Alice, and you were great, Remley. That scene had everything in it.
Except me. It's a fine way to treat a star. Well, I don't have to take this, Mr. Zanuck, and I'm not going to make the picture for you, and I ain't going to let Alice make it either. Now, come on, Alice, let's get out of here.
Oh, wait a minute, Harris. You can't take Alice.
I can't, huh?
Oh, Phil. I hope you're not disappointed that you didn't get this part.
Why should I be? It's their loss.
Yeah, you don't have to work for Fox.
Of course I don't have to work for Fox. The nerve of them giving me a small part like that. I won't let them bury my talent here.
You're right, Curly. Come on, we'll find someplace else to bury it.
And now, here's your Rexall family druggist. Last week, when a customer of mine was telling me about her new Easter bonnet, I asked her, how would you like to have more than 200 hats?
Mister, I'd love it. But why do you ask that?
You got me to thinking of a Rexall scientist who has more than 200 different kinds of caps.
Is he crazy?
No, he's a pretty smart fellow. You see, he's interested in the caps for Rexall's bottled drug products. Now, to you, those little bottle caps may all look pretty much alike, but believe me, there's a big difference. Even the liner inside the caps is important. Some are especially made to prevent leakage, others designed to keep aromas from escaping. Still others must be non-corrosive.
Well, I never thought of that before.
And that isn't all. The materials that do those jobs all right may still be unsuitable because they cause a chemical change in the product. So this Rexall scientist must test literally hundreds of materials and combinations of materials to make sure that each Rexall bottled drug product gets the cap and the liner that suits it best.
And that's why he has more than 200 of them.
Yes, ma'am, that's why. It's another example of the many different ways Rexall's men of science make sure that the 2,000 or more drug products made by the Rexall Drug Company are completely dependable. And when we independent Rexall druggists put the orange and blue sign on our window, we're making sure you know that ours are the only stores where you can get these products. We want the whole wide world to know you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall. Folks, this is National Pharmacy Week. 7 days when we can remember the man that you and your doctor trust all the year through, your family druggist. Quietly but faithfully, these skilled professional men...
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. Jack Benny in tonight's presentation of Suspense. Tonight, Autolite presents the story of a successful bank robbery, including the astounding history of the unhappy man who perpetrated the crime. It's called The Face is Familiar. Our star, in his first dramatic appearance of the season, Mr. Jack Benny. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the world-famous Autolite family. Tonight we announce the $100,000 Autolite family charity drawing. During the next 11 weeks, all of you 18 years of age or over can take part in this greatest of all charitable events. And here's how.
Just visit the showroom of any Autolite family car dealer and sign your name and address on the registration form he gives you. Ask him to sign the receipt portion. That's all. Nothing else to do. No need to buy a thing. And yet, you may be one of 25 selected to name the recognized charities that will receive a total of $100,000 in cash on the 1st of June. Think of it, thousands of dollars in cash to be given to your favorite recognized charity or charities if you are one of the favorite persons. So go tonight, go tomorrow to Autolite family car dealers and sign your name and address to the registration form he gives you. Later on, I'll tell you the names of the Autolite family car dealers who are participating in this great Autolite family charity event.
And now, Autolite presents transcribed The Face is Familiar, starring Mr. Jack Benny, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
I still can't understand why they picked me, of all people. Me, of all people. That's why it's so hard to believe. That it all happened, I mean. But it did. It really did. Just because I like to go to the railroad station. Walk around, look at the trains, study faces. I never forget a face. I never forget a train, either. But it's easier to forget a face. But a matter of fact, I remember some faces that would be a lot better for me to forget. Like Harry Edmonds' face, for instance. That's the day it all started. The day I saw Harry Edmond way across on the other side of the terminal. That's the station. He was talking to a big fellow. Harry's face I remembered right away. I never saw the big fellow before.
Better get going, Harry.
But you can't pull off the job.
I stuck up a bank before.
Yeah, sure, and they'd spot you the minute you walked in.
I know you, too. This is your hometown.
Oh, sure, neither one of us is right.
Let the boss decide. Come on.
I thought about it on the train down. We need somebody new.
We're not splitting this take with anybody else. It goes three ways now.
Look, if we have to, we have to. And if we wait too long, we gotta let the whole thing go until next month.
Then we wait.
Not for me. This town is too hot for me. Somebody is liable to recognize me.
Yo-ho, Harry! Harry Edmond!
Who's that?
Where?
Over there, some guy calling you.
Harry Edmond, you old son of a gun.
Brush this guy.
Well, good old Harry Edmond.
You got me mixed up with somebody else, mister.
No, I haven't. I know who you are.
Yeah?
Harry Edmond. You used to live on 12th Street and 2nd Avenue.
What city?
This city. Here. Don't you remember me, Harry?
Can't say as I do, so long.
Harry! Oh, Harry Edmond! Harry! Hey, Harry, no kidding. You remember me, don't you? Seriously, Harry. You remember Pinky Smith? He had a wart on his finger. And Alan Davenport. He had a birthmark on his neck. Well, I'm Tom Jones. I have nothing. I'm clean.
Brush him, get rid of him.
No, wait. I think we got our answer.
Huh?
I think we got the agent paid to handle some of our bank business.
Harry, try to remember. Go ahead now. Try to remember.
Yeah, 12th Street and 2nd Avenue.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I used to live around there somewhere, but I still can't...
Let me give you a hint.
Go ahead.
Remember Gordon's candy store on the corner? And remember the great bunch of guys who used to hang out there?
Yeah?
And remember those pesky kids who used to tag along? Nagging, saying, let us in. Can we come too? Always pesting. Always trying to horn in. Well, one of them was me, Tom Jones. Remember me now, Harry?
What'd you say your name was again?
Jones. Tom Jones.
The name sounds very familiar.
We grew up together.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing these days?
Oh, a little bit of everything. And you?
Banking.
Oh, money, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice field. Well, I gotta go look at the people. It was good talking over old times with you, Harry.
Hey, come on.
No, wait a minute. Look, you mind waiting a minute? What's your name again?
Tom Jones. Remember?
Oh, yeah, Tom. Yeah, well, wait a minute.
Well, I'm kind of busy. Lots of appointments this
Oh,
afternoon.
I'd like talking over old times with you, Tom. Maybe we could have a drink and dinner.
Well.
On me.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Good, except that Joe has an appointment here. Joe, couldn't you break it? Wait here a second.
Tom Jones.
Tom, yeah. Joe, come here. Let me talk to you a second.
What?
Now I know I got the answer. I know I found the pigeon who's going to do it for us.
Let the boss figure that out.
I tell you, I got it figured. Look at that guy.
Yeah?
He is it.
Him? He don't look like nothing.
Right, he's nothing. Isn't that what we want? Nobody that anybody ever saw before. Nobody that anybody would ever think of looking at twice.
Job's ready.
And if we don't pull it this afternoon, we lose another whole month, so come on. Oh, Joe can make it. He is going to join us. Joe, I forgot to introduce you. Have you met,
It's Jones, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones, yeah. Well, Tom, meet Joe, and don't get sore. Just a kid I grew up with, Joe. We're going to have a great time talking over old times, you know, 2nd Avenue. That's right, and your name is Tom Jones.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I must admit that it is a difficult name to remember because it's so common. Don't you think so?
Oh, yeah, I sure do.
Well, it'll certainly be nice talking over old times.
Oh, yeah, I haven't talked over old times in a long time.
Well. Harry Edmonds.
Yes, sir, and good old,
Tom,
yeah. Better get started.
Where to?
I want you to meet another old friend of mine.
Harry must have been doing very well. Very well. I mean, for a man in the money game. He had a brand new sedan with real leather upholstery. I know it was real leather because that used to be my game. Leather upholstery. Not much money in it, at least not for me. But I didn't let Harry know that. No, sir. What if he ran into another old friend from 2nd Avenue and the other old friend said, "How's old Tom Jones doing?" And Harry said, "Not very well. Not very well at all." Well, that can hurt a man once it gets around.
And then what happened?
Well, when I came back to the main office, I said I want 40% commission from now on.
Really?
But, of course, that would have made me a partner, the boss said.
Uh-huh.
After all, Harry, I'm not the kind of a guy who can be cooped up in an office. I've been a road man. The lure of the open road.
Oh, yeah.
The call of the open streets. See, I'm an outdoor type of salesman. Something of the pioneer kind, you know? Pioneer?
Yeah, pioneer. Yeah.
You see, there are those salesmen who are made for offices and those of us who get out and break the plains, so to speak.
Tom, you surprise me.
Oh, I could keep going for hours, Harry. Literally hours.
Yeah, well, why don't you hold on to some of it till we have dinner?
Oh, sure. Say, I bet you never expected that pesky little kid who always used to hang around to get so big in his field.
Oh, I certainly didn't. We could sure use somebody like you in our outfit, Tom.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now, that's very flattering, but I'm not sure it's right for me. I
bet I could get you, I don't know, maybe 10,000 a year to start with.
10,000 a year, you say?
Yeah.
Well, I'd sure like to think about it.
Well, you talk to my boss. Maybe he can convince you.
I'm willing to listen, Harry. I'm willing to listen, all right. The business Harry was in was mighty successful if the home of his boss was any indication. A beautiful big yellow house with a lovely green front door, and you could tell it was the home of a man who had worked his way up and knew what to do with what he had. Inside it was very homey. 2 fireplaces in the living room that looked like they were burning. A beautiful plaid carpet that must have been a real Oriental, and they wanted me in the business. Me, Tom Jones. Of all people.
Brandy, Mr. Jones?
No, thanks. Spoil my dinner.
Cigar?
Well.
All clear Havana?
Oh, I can see that. I can always tell a good cigar just by looking at it. I know cigars, and faces, train.
You're a very well-informed man, Mr. Jones.
Well, you're kind of unusual yourself.
Why?
You remember my name.
Don't most people?
Most people don't even recognize me. People I've known for years.
Is that so?
Now, don't get me wrong. It's an asset in my business. The people who tell me no when I try to sell them something say, come back next year. But I come back next week, and they don't even remember I was in the first time. Believe me, a face like mine doesn't come along every day.
I like you, Tom. Mind if I call you Tom?
Certainly not, Mr.
Just call me Boss. Everybody calls me that, especially people I like, and I like you.
I like you, too, Boss.
Then you're interested in coming into the organization?
Oh, I might give it a whirl. Let's put it that way.
I wouldn't want it any other way. A trial for both of us.
And the pay Harry mentioned?
Oh, I told him a starting salary, boy.
Now, let's talk about that at dinner. Come on, we'd better get started.
Isn't 2:45 in the afternoon a little early for dinner?
We have a few errands to do. Excuse us just a minute?
Oh, of course, sure.
You like the idea?
Perfect. Nobody'll ever remember it. I couldn't even describe to you what he looks like. Where's the satchel?
Right here, boss.
I thought you put the note inside.
Well, we wanted you to okay it first. Here, read it.
You are being covered by a gun from 2 different places in this bank. Do not send an alarm or you will be killed. Put $50,000 in the satchel. That's it. On a note.
How will you get them to take it in?
I always come up with the answer, don't I?
Yeah, sure, boss.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, we talked it over, and the boss likes you a lot.
For the last time, it's Jones. Tom Jones.
Yeah, well, I was only kidding, Tom.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
We better get started.
Where to first?
To the bank, Tom.
That's very kind, but completely unnecessary. I don't need my salary in advance.
I told you this is a high-class outfit.
To the bank. Gee.
Autolite is bringing you Mr. Jack Benny in The Face is Familiar. Tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
This is Harlow Wilcox again. Tonight, the worldwide Autolite family is privileged to salute a distinguished member, the DeSoto division of Chrysler Corporation. So, I've stopped in at my local DeSoto Plymouth dealers to learn all about the wonderful DeSoto's 454.
Well, you're right about the new DeSoto automatics, Mr. Wilcox. They are wonderful, and for many reasons. For instance, there's the great DeSoto 170 horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine, the world's most efficient engine design.
Well, explain why, Mr. Dealer.
The secret's in the hemispherical design of the combustion chamber. That's where your fuel is exploded to give you power. This design squeezes every last drop of power out of your fuel. Lets you use regular gasoline for real economy. This, plus DeSoto's fully automatic power flight transmission, power steering, power brakes, and Autolite electrical equipment are just a few of the many reasons why the 1954 DeSoto automatics put you ahead automatically.
Thank you, Mr. Dealer. Autolite is proud of its long connection with DeSoto and DeSoto Plymouth dealers everywhere.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Jack Benny in Elliot Lewis's production of The Face is Familiar, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Gee, isn't it funny how you wait a long time for your ship to come in? There I was, watching a train, and my ship came in. Just because I recognized Harry's face. Boy, you gotta keep on your toes in this world. Because when opportunity knocks at your door, you gotta be all set to open it. Well, anyway, I'd opened the door, and before I knew it, we were downtown. To the bank already? I hardly noticed we were moving.
Do you mind waiting a few minutes?
Oh, not at all.
I like you, Tom.
Let me tell you, I like you, too.
I'm certainly glad Harry met you after all these years.
And I'm glad, too. I like Harry.
And I like you, too, Tom.
Tom, yeah. You know, I feel like I've known all of you. Just all of you since 2nd Avenue. Boss, I even feel like I grew up with you.
That's very nice of you, Tom. Who's going to get the payroll?
Is that why we stopped at the bank? You pick up your own payroll?
Sure, why not?
For how much?
$50,000.
$50,000. And you pick it up yourself?
It's my money, and I worked hard for it. It's my way. And if you don't like my way of doing things, Tom...
No, not at all. I've always felt personally, I've always felt that people should pick up their own money. Always. Especially if it's $50,000 or more. Besides, armored cars haven't been doing too well in the past few years.
I like the way you think.
Well, maybe we should all pick up the payroll.
Wouldn't that make us a little too conspicuous?
Yes.
And besides, I want to discuss you a little more. I think you'll work out.
Fine. Say, maybe Harry can pick up the money while we talk.
I wanted to discuss you with Harry.
Oh. Well, how about Joe?
Joe picked it up last time. I don't like the same man going in twice in a row.
See, not Harry, not Joe, or you. Me?
I hate to ask you. You're not really part of my organization yet, and I don't like to see a man work unless he gets paid for it.
Well, I'd be happy to. Just delighted. Besides, I'm going to have to get used to large sums of money, and I guess there's no time to start like the present.
Just take this satchel up to the window and give it to the teller. The withdrawal slip is inside. The teller will know exactly what to do.
Fine. Oh, sure, of course.
Now, boss, wait until he's in.
Did you call me?
No. Right ahead.
My, it's certainly crowded. So many people waiting in line.
Yeah.
People certainly must be doing well these days.
Yeah.
I'm very busy myself, you know.
So?
I have some friends waiting for me outside.
Good.
Now, I was just wondering, if you weren't in a hurry, would you mind...
No.
Oh. These lines certainly move slowly, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, he certainly took long enough at that window.
Yeah.
I hate people who dawdle over money. Don't you?
I guess.
Your transaction isn't going to take very long, is it?
Nope.
Good. That big bag you're carrying had me worried.
Yeah?
What sort of business are you in?
Penny vending machines.
Pennies? All those are pennies?
Something wrong with pennies?
Oh, no. No, of course not. Excuse me. I think I'll try that other line. My, it's certainly crowded.
I beg your pardon?
No, I say it's crowded. For such a big bank. Wouldn't you think they'd have more tellers?
I certainly do.
I mean, one, say, to handle pennies and so forth, you know. Well, there's one gone. I like the way that teller works.
I suppose.
Will your transaction take long?
Oh, no.
Good. I'm in a terrible hurry. Some friends are waiting for me on the outside.
Next, please.
Yes, madam.
Well, in 1950, my husband opened an account in his name, a savings account. Then he transferred it to a checking account. Then we split up that money and opened a joint savings account and joint checking account. But we found out we didn't really close the other savings account. Of course, we thought we did, so some of our checking deposits have been...
Look, don't you think you should see the manager instead of taking this teller's time?
I'll handle this, sir, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Madam, would you please take this up with the manager?
But if you don't mind, may I get to the window?
Well,
Yes? The withdrawal slip is in the bag.
Oh, a withdrawal. Next window, please.
Now, just a minute. You in there, tell her. Open up. Yes, sir? You see, I've been moving from line to line, and I insist you handle this.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't violate the rules for anyone.
But this is a very important matter, you know. This isn't just some piddling sum.
How much are you withdrawing, sir?
I believe it's $50,000.
Oh, you're quite right. That is a lot of money. Now, will you please remove this bag and go to the next window?
Well, all right. At least the lines are getting shorter.
Yes, they are.
Wouldn't you think a bank this size could afford a few extra tellers?
How do you mean?
Like, say, one kind of teller to handle only pennies and another kind to handle matters of $50,000 or more.
I beg your pardon?
I suppose that sounds a little strange, but you'd be surprised how it would speed things up.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it needs it. See, I came in feeling fine, just fine. Now I'm nervous from waiting.
I'll be through in a minute.
Well, it's terribly important. You see, some people are waiting for me outside.
Next, please.
Here you are.
20, 30, 40. Thank you. Next, please.
Yes. Oh, wait, just a minute.
Something wrong?
I'll be back in a minute. My friends are calling me. Did you fellas call me?
No. Go back.
But someone honked the horn. I saw somebody else wave.
Go back.
A mistake. Just turn around and go back. We'll be here.
Oh, sure, of course. All right, sir, here's the bag.
Your deposit slip, sir.
Withdrawal. The slip is on the inside. From time to time.
Is this a joke, mister?
Listen, you. I've had enough. Now, you can read, can't you?
Yes, sir.
Then don't dawdle. Do what it says. That's fine. That's much better.
Yes, sir.
Come on. Go get it.
Well, here's the money.
Give me that.
Hey, Harry! Where are you going? Stop! What are you doing? Harry!
That got him. All right, Jenkins, take some rope down there and tie their hands. I set off the alarm as fast as I could, officer. Oh, come on, let's get down there. You can show me which one of those guys held you up. All right, officer. I'm sure I'll remember it.
This is terrible.
Step back, buddy.
But it was me.
It was you what?
It was me, officer. Look, I took the bag in and I didn't know.
Are you kidding?
Tell her, look at me.
I am. You must be nuts.
No, I'm not nuts. It's me. Don't you recognize my face? Look at it.
Nothing like it. What did the fellow look like? Well, he had a lean face. Or slightly fat. No, lean. Oh. And brown eyes. No. Oh, gosh, I don't know.
It was me. Look, blue eyes, see? Me. And I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry.
Now beat it, Bud. Now think hard. I am. But it was the most nondescript face I've ever seen.
Well, that's pretty nasty if you ask me.
Now tell me what you remember.
I can.
I was standing there. I just counted out $40.
Look, and I walked up to the window.
Oh, it wasn't you. This fellow was about 6 feet tall. Or 5.5.
5 feet 8. I'm 5 feet 8.
And he had a real menacing look.
No, I was smiling. See, look, I'm smiling. Look. Now do you remember?
Now, look here. Get out of here before I run you in.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I remember now. He was 6 feet tall. He had red hair, and he was carrying a gun. He had a handkerchief over the lower part of his face, and he carried a cane.
Well, that's what happened.
That was an eyewitness account of a bank robbery from the man who did it. Here I walked into the bank, robbed them of $50,000, and didn't even know I was doing it. Imagine. And nobody recognized me. They didn't know my face. You know, I bet I could walk into another bank and do the same thing. Nah, I better not.
Suspense, presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. Jack Benny.
Be sure you take part in the great Autolite family charity drawing now at your Autolite family car dealers. No need to buy a thing. Just sign your name to the registration form he gives you. Ask him to sign the receipt portion. You may be one of 25 selected to name the recognized charities that will share a total of this $100,000 cash distribution on June 1st. Here are the car dealers in your territory who have the Autolite family charity drawing registration forms. DeSoto, Hudson, Dodge, Nash, Packard, Plymouth, Kaiser, Studebaker, Willis, and Chrysler. Visit them tomorrow. Fill out a registration form. Do your part to help favorite charities in your community share in this $100,000 cash distribution.
Next week, a story based on fact. The dramatization of one man's deadly way of earning his living. All he needed was the morning newspaper, a telephone, and a gun. It's called Want Ad. Our star, Mr. Robert Cummings. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is transcribed and directed by Elliott Lewis, with music composed by Lucien Morawick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The Face is Familiar was written for Suspense by Arthur Ross. In tonight's story, Sheldon Leonard is heard as Harry and Clayton Post as Joe. Featured in the cast were Joseph Kearns, Herb Butterfield, Gene Wood, Hy Averback, and Stan Farrar.
The Jack Benny Show may be heard every Sunday on the CBS Radio Network.
Doctors prove the Palmolive plan brings 2 out of 3 women lovelier complexions in 14 days. For the Palmolive plan was tested on women with all types of skin. Dry, oily, even skin that was not clear. Yes, regardless of age, type of skin, or previous beauty care, 36 doctors proved the 14-day Palmolive plan brings fresher, brighter, younger-looking complexions. So get Palmolive soap and start your 14-day Palmolive plan now.
Gentlemen, Dennis Day. Oh, that makes life seem worthwhile dwells in your eyes and must have your smile. Dennis Day is brought to you by Colgate Dental Cream and Luster Cream Shampoo. Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous dream girl hair. The Dennis Day Show with Barbara Eiler, B. Benaderet, Dink Trout, Charles Dant in the orchestra, and yours truly, Vern Smith, is written by Frank Galen and stars our popular young singer in A Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Here's Dennis to sing There Ought to Be a Society. There ought to be a society for the prevention of cruelty to poor unfortunate lovers. Poor unfortunate lovers. Poor unfortunate lovers like me. There ought to be a society for the extension of sympathy to poor unfortunate lovers. Poor unfortunate lovers, poor unfortunate lovers like me. If you beat up a dog or a cat,
You go to jail for the maximum penalty. They got protection laws for the dumb animals. But nobody cares about me when I get beat. So I repeat, there ought to be a society for the prevention of cruelty to poor unfortunate lovers. Poor unfortunate lovers. Poor unfortunate lovers like me. When you go for a walk in the zoo, you never try for to beat up the chimpanzee. They got the iron cage and the keeper to boot. The monkey is better than me. He grinned at me. Say he agreed. There ought to be a society for the prevention of cruelty to poor unfortunate lovers. Poor unfortunate lovers. Poor unfortunate lovers like me.
Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth.
No other toothpaste does a better job of cleaning teeth than Colgate Dental Cream. For Colgate Dental Cream has a safe polishing agent that cleans your teeth both gently and thoroughly, brings out their natural sparkle and beauty. You can actually see and feel the difference.
And scientific tests prove that Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. Yes, actual scientific tests prove conclusively that in 7 out of 10 cases, Colgate instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth.
Colgate Dental Cream is famous for its wonderful wake-up flavor, too. Nationwide tests of leading toothpastes prove that Colgate's is preferred for flavor over every other brand tested. Yes, preferred over every other brand tested.
And no wonder. For Colgate Dental Cream is the result of constant effort to produce the finest toothpaste in the world today. For cleaning teeth, for flavor, for sweetening breath.
So see if you don't agree with the millions who have made Colgate Dental Cream America's favorite toothpaste. Try Colgate Dental Cream to bring out the natural sparkle and beauty of your teeth. For a wake-up flavor you'll thoroughly enjoy.
And always use Colgate Dental Cream after you eat and before every date to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. Well, as you needn't be told, there are numerous ways for people to get into trouble. Some folks go out looking for it. Others can see it coming but can't avoid it. And still others fall into it unconsciously. It's to this third or unconscious group that our young hero Dennis Day belongs, which is only reasonable considering the head start he has. Now, take what happened to him yesterday morning, for instance. He was walking down Oak Street quite unconcernedly, minding his own business, when suddenly...
Good morning, young man.
Good morning.
I'm the inquiring reporter of the Weaverville Bugle, and I'd like to ask you a question for my column. Do you mind?
Well, no, not if I can.
Good. What's your name and address?
Dennis Day, 324 Elm Street. Gee, I thought it was going to be tougher than that.
That isn't the question, my boy. What I want to know is your opinion of women.
Women?
Yes. Do you think the women of today are prepared for motherhood?
Gee, I hope so. If they're not, I don't know who to tell to get ready.
No, you don't understand, sir. I'm looking for a good, controversial statement on the subject of women.
Oh.
Now, do you happen to be in love with more than one woman?
Me? Of course not.
That's what I want. I have no love for the overwhelming majority of women, says Mr. Dennis Day of 324 Elm Street.
Hey, wait.
What's a little housework, cooking, washing, and baby-minding, continues Mr. Day. It's the men who do the real work in this world. Women should get down on their knees to them.
But all
What a statement. Mr. Day, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, maybe we still have time to put them back in. You're not going to print this, are you?
Well, I'm only quoting what you said, Mr. Day. Tell me, do you think women have good reasons for always whining and complaining?
But they don't.
Women have no good reasons for always whining and complaining.
Now, look, mister,
Do you know why women should be treated as your equals, Mr. Day?
No, why?
Dennis Day doesn't know why women should be treated as...
Mister, please, you can't do this to me.
Why not? You believe the man should be the head of the family, don't you?
Well, yes, but
You think if a man asks his wife a civil question, she should answer him, don't you?
Well, sure.
Attaboy. Women should speak when they're spoken to, says Miss. Now you're talking.
I must be doing it in code.
Mr. Day, I congratulate you. There isn't one man in 1,000 who'd come out and say the things you have.
Including me. Everything I say, you twist around. I demand that you print my exact words.
Well, all right. If that's the way you feel, I'll use a direct quotation from you for my lead line. Do you wear perfume, Mr. Day?
Perfume? Of course not.
Why not?
Well, it makes a person smell.
Well, women wear it, don't they?
Well, sure, but...
Wonderful. Goodbye, and thank you for a great lead line.
What lead line?
Dennis Day says women smell.
Boy, what happened?
So back our hero slunk to the Anderson boarding house, where he knew it was the better part of valor to say nothing of his interview, especially to his landlady, Mrs. Anderson, and his girlfriend, Mildred. But he also knew what would happen when the paper came out the following morning, and sure enough, just after he had risen...
Oh, my golly, here it comes. Oh, it's you, Mr. Anderson.
Dennis, you doll face, you dreamboat, you joy boy.
Huh?
This article of yours in the paper. This Emancipation Proclamation for husbands. Women should not be treated as equals. They should get down on their knees to the men. Where'd you ever get such magnificent ideas?
Gee, I don't know, but every time that reporter opened his mouth, I seem to have another one.
You're a hero, my boy. Why, there isn't a husband in this whole town who doesn't feel like a different man toward his wife this morning.
Gee, even you? Wow.
Well, I've had 5 phone calls from friends this morning, and they all feel like I do. My boy, this could develop into a crusade.
You mean we men are going to demand equal rights with women?
Dennis, please. I said we were crusaders, not radicals.
Oh, beg pardon.
But there's a feeling inside me this morning that I never had before, and I wouldn't be surprised but what it's courage.
Courage?
Certainly seems to be, from the descriptions I've read of it.
Oh, gosh, Mr. Anderson, how are the women going to take this... Oh, jiggers, here comes your wife. Good morning, Mrs. Anderson.
Don't you good morning me, Dennis Day. Are you responsible for this article in the newspaper?
You're darn right he's responsible. You want to make something out of it?
Herbert Anderson, are you addressing me?
Well, I ain't addressing John L. Lewis, kiddo. It's about time you women learned a little respect for us men. You understand?
Why, yes, Herbert.
Good. Now drag those big feet of yours to the stove and get me some breakfast.
Yes, of course, lover.
See what my friend wants here, too.
I should cook breakfast for Dennis Day over my dead body.
Look out, kiddo. That can be arranged.
Yes, Herbert. What would you like, Dennis?
Gee, Mrs. Anderson, ma'am,
Dennis, stop fumbling around. Climb on the bandwagon. Enjoy.
Okay, I'd like a couple of 3-minute eggs.
Very well.
And make it fast, understand? I want you back here with them in 2 minutes.
Very well, Poopsie.
Oh, my gosh, it's the millennium.
Didn't I tell you? It's that interview. All over town, men are acting just like me. Son, we owe you a debt of gratitude we can never repay.
Gee, imagine. Why, I had no idea. I never...
So there you are, Dennis Day.
Oh, hello, Mildred.
Don't you even speak to me, you man, you.
Dennis, did you hear what she called you?
Yeah, even I've been promoted.
I suppose you think you're pretty smart, don't you? You and your interview.
Up and at her, Dennis. Remember, this is the revolution.
Yeah, watch your tone, Mildred Anderson. Just remember your sex. Your party is no longer in power.
What?
Turn in your belt, kiddo. You're not wearing the pants anymore.
So that's your attitude, is it? Very well, Mr. Day. I only spoke to you at all because I had this note for you. Here, and goodbye.
Attaboy, Dennis. Keep women at a distance. That's our motto.
Gee, I don't know. Do you think we'll enjoy them just as fully that way?
More. Well, now, who's the note from? Aren't you going to open it?
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. Gee, it's from some man I don't even know. Dear Mr. Day, read what you said about women in this morning's paper. If you are still alive when this letter reaches you, I have a job open for you. But if you are not available, at least send me your autograph. Sincerely yours, H.R. Norwood, owner of the Bonton Shoe Store. Wow, isn't that great, Mr. Anderson? I'll go see him right away.
Didn't I tell you, my boy? You're a hero. You've finally become a name in this town.
Oh, I always was. But at last I'm becoming one you can say in polite company. Pardon me, Mr. H.R. Norwood?
Yes?
I'm Dennis Day. You wrote me a letter?
Oh, I did. Sit down, Mr. Day, sit down. My goodness, let me look at you. So you're the boy who said all those glorious things about the opposite, if you'll pardon the expression, sex.
Yes, sir. I guess I am.
Oh, my goodness. I never met a man with your courage in my life. I just never did, that's all. No! I give you my word. When I read your article, my hair just stood on, if you'll pardon the expression, end.
Gee.
What courage, I said to myself. What courage. What courage. What courage.
You're hard of hearing?
No. I just repeat things once in a while. Well, I suppose you're wondering about the job I mentioned.
Oh, yes, sir, I am.
Well, you see, I sell shoes here, women's shoes. You know why?
No, why?
I hate women.
Then why do you sell women's shoes?
Could you think of a better revenge on them?
Oh, no, sir, but where do I come in?
Oh, I can see you've never waited on a woman in a shoe store, my boy. Box after box you pull down from the shelf, and still they're not satisfied. This one's the wrong color, that one's the wrong style. These don't fit. Up the ladder, down the By noon, I am such a nervous wreck that you can hear me puff, and if you'll pardon the expression, pant all over the place.
It does sound kind of wearing.
Oh, yes, but it won't be for you. Oh, no. You'll make them buy the shoes they ought to have, and right away.
Me?
Well, certainly. You're not afraid of women. You will, if you'll pardon the expression, gird up your, if you'll pardon the expression, loins and fight.
But, Mr. Norwood, I...
Now, the pay on this job, I might add, is excellent.
The pay? How much is it?
Well, it used to be $22 a week, but I'll take her.
$22 a week? Boy, that's the best offer I ever had.
In that case, the dickering is over. Now, is it a deal, my boy?
Gee, how can I turn it down?
Oh, good lad. Now, all you have to do... Oh, good gravy. Here comes the customer. Now, go to work, my boy.
Gosh, already?
Don't you worry. This is one of the sweetest customers we have. Good morning, Mrs. Harris.
Good morning.
Welcome, dear lady. My clerk will take excellent care of you, I am sure.
Very well. I'd like a pair of black pumps, young man.
Sit down.
What?
You heard me. Squat. Now, what size do you take, Fatso?
Why, the ones I have on are 3.5, AAA.
And these will be just your size. Here, 8 feet.
8 feet? Why, I never.
I know, and it's about time you started. Here's the shoes. Now, give me the money.
But
Come on, give me the money.
Oh, yes, of course. Here.
Oh, good boy, Dennis. I knew you could do it. I knew you weren't scared of any woman, whoever you... Oh, my goodness gracious me. The boy's fainted.
We'll continue this day in the life of Dennis Day in just a moment. Meanwhile, here's Dennis to sing You Were Meant for Me.
You were meant for me. I was meant for you. Nature patterned you, and when she was done, you were all the sweet things up in one. You're like a plaintive melody that never let me free. For I'm content the angels must have sent you, and they made you just for me. You were meant for me, for I'm content the angels must have sent you, and they made you just for me.
Well, Dennis certainly started something when he allowed himself to be quoted by an inquiring reporter to the effect that women have a cinch and that the men do all the work. To the men, of course, he's a hero, but to the women, well, let's listen to a meeting of the distaff side now taking place at the Anderson boarding house.
Dennis actually talked to you that way, Mrs. Harris? Why, I can hardly believe it.
Since that interview of his appeared, all the men are talking that way.
I'll say they are. Do you know what your father said to me this morning, Mildred?
What?
He told me to shut my big mouth before he kicked it shut. Why, he hasn't spoken to me like that since I fell off a horse in 1922 and had both arms in a cast.
Well, now, something's got to be done. Why don't we show the men how easy our job is? Let them do what we've been doing for a while, and we'll lead the lives they've been leading.
Oh, golly, Mrs. Harris, that sounds wonderful.
Not to me, it doesn't. I'd have to go back to doing the housework around here.
But not the cooking, Mother. Oh, I think it's a marvelous idea. We'll call every woman in town and get them started right away.
Yes. Let's see how the men like doing women's work for a change.
And it'll certainly be fun for us doing what the men do.
Yes, I've got a slight head start.
A head start?
Sure. I've been enjoying my husband's cigars for years now.
How's the dinner coming, Dennis?
All right, I guess. Gee, Mr. Anderson, wasn't it kind of peculiar, your wife leaving a note saying she and Mildred wouldn't be home for supper, and if we wanted any, we should cook it ourselves?
Well, it is a little peculiar, but we'll show them that we can cook just as good a dinner as they can. Did you taste that soup yet, Dennis?
Yeah, the soup over here in this pot is cooler, but it tastes better, I think.
That's the dishwater from lunch.
Oh.
Are the baked potatoes nearly ready?
Mashed potatoes.
I thought you said we were going to have baked potatoes.
We were, but they fell on the floor and I stepped on them by mistake.
Oh, well. Say, do you suppose those steaks of mine are done by now?
Well, how long have you had them on?
Well, let's see. It's 8:15. About an hour.
Oh, give them a little longer. We don't want them raw.
No, I guess not. Did you take a look at those muffins?
No, I guess I better.
Yeah, we got to watch them. I don't like them dark brown.
How do you feel about jet black?
My, I'm glad Poopsie didn't see those. Take them out, Dennis.
Okay.
Dear, dear. Well, now, don't you worry. We'll show those women that us men can take over.
You bet we will.
Sure. Why not? Men can do anything that women can do.
Darn right they can. Oh, say, isn't that someone coming up the walk, Mr. Anderson?
Well, yes, so it is. It's Mr. Harris. Why, good heavens, he's carrying a baby.
Gee, you don't suppose he... Oh, of course not. I'll let him in. Hello, Mr. Harris.
Gee, fellas, look what I had.
What?
To take care of.
Oh.
Yes, my wife and daughter went out and left him with me. Got kind of lonely. He's only 4 months old and doesn't say much. So I came over here for some company.
Well, good. So you're just in time for dinner. I'll have it on the table in a jiffy.
Gee, you're lucky the little fella's sleeping so nice and peacefully, Mr. Harris. Most babies don't, you know.
Yeah, I know. But I gave this one a little shot of whiskey before we... Worked fine.
See? There's male brains. I'll guarantee a woman never would have thought of that.
No. But I wish I knew what to do when it's time to change him. They didn't leave me any instructions on that.
Oh, I can show you that, Miss Harris. I don't go to the movies twice a week for nothing, you know. Hand me a napkin.
Yeah, here you are. Let's see this.
Well, first you take this end and crisscross it to the other side and pin it. Like this, see? Then you crisscross the other side over to this one and pin it. Now you take the underflap and pull it over here and pin it like this.
Now what?
Well, if I could think of a way to get my hand out, it'd be perfect.
Well, you better just let him sleep, Mr. Harris. Now, dinner's all set. Sit down, boys.
Okay.
Well, begin, everybody.
You first, Mr. Harris. You're the oldest.
What's that got to do with it?
You've lived your life already.
It looks fine, but to tell the truth, I'm not very hungry.
You know something? I kind of wish I had my wife back.
Yeah, this isn't very much... Hey, isn't that somebody outside?
Our wives. They finally come home to apologize.
Oh, so that's she said. Really? I thought you said itching.
Well, and just where have you three been until this hour?
Around. We dropped in at the pool room and shot a little snooker.
Snooker?
Yes, and then we stopped in at the fight for a few minutes.
And we wound up with the burlesque show. Wow! That second boy from the left. Hey, Clara! You ain't just speaking your gums, kiddo. Well, did you boys have a nice evening together?
We kind of missed you, ladies.
Oh, you'll get used to it in a few months.
No, Poopsie. Don't say that. You did this to us, Dennis, eh?
Me?
Yes, with that fool interview of yours. Please, ladies, reconsider. Take us back the way we were. Give us men our happy slavehood again.
Well...
Please, Mrs. Anderson, I was wrong to talk about women the way I did. There's room in this world for two sexes. In fact, in many ways, it's a very nice arrangement.
Well, do you really think you've learned your lesson, Herbert?
Oh, I have. I do, Cuddles, I do. Take me back, please.
Very well. If you're truly sorry, we'll forget this ever happened.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Anderson.
Oh, Poopsie, you darling. Come here and let me clasp you to my manly stomach once again.
Dennis Day will be back in just 1 minute to sing Song of Songs. But first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl, hair that gleams and glistens from a luster cream shampoo.
Yes, for soft, glamorous green girl hair, try Luster Cream Shampoo. Now in convenient tubes or jars, whichever you prefer. Luster Cream Shampoo leaves hair with new three-way loveliness. Fragrantly clean, glistening with sheen, soft, easy to manage. Not a soap, not a liquid, but an utterly new, rich lathering cream shampoo, a blend of secret ingredients plus lanolin. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, tubes or jars, 49 and 25 cents. Be a dream girl, a lovely luster cream girl.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl, you owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
Here now is Dennis with the music of Charles Dant and the orchestra singing Song of Songs.
Do you recall that night in June when first we met? Do you remember, love, the words we spoke? Have you forgotten all the tender vows we made? In the silent, magical moonbeam light, one of the golden dreams with summer roses evermore to me. And that melody fill the heart with the joy once it knew. Oh, night of bliss, night of June and love, beneath the stars amid the roses, who dream of delight that faded at dawn. Oh, song of songs, oh, night of bliss, when you were my whole world of love. When you were my whole world of
Good night, everybody.
Next week, tune in to another Dennis Day Show brought to you by Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, dream girl hair. This is Vern Smith speaking. Good night, everyone.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
Jack Benny is the guest of Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman on the Halls of Ivy. Welcome again to Ivy College, that is, in the town of Ivy, USA. For the past few days, Dr. William Todhunter Hall, president of Ivy College, has been almost completely unaware of the undercover campus activities of his wife, Victoria, former star of the English stage. In fact, he betrays his unawareness by asking at the breakfast table,
Vicky, my darling, I've been so busy lately, I've hardly seen you. What have you been doing that's interesting?
Oh, the usual things, Toddy. I chairman the book club Monday, met with the faculty women Wednesday, gave the student mothers group a short lecture on diaper folding on Thursday, met with
Excuse me, but where did you learn diaper folding?
in the theatre in England.
Really? Of course, I know naturally that no course in dramatics is complete without the eternal triangle, but my mental picture of that geometric figure seems to have been badly painted. To me, you were always the glamorous beauty, waited on hand and foot by adoring lackeys, champagne at elbow, and sobbing violins behind the potted plant.
Well, I've seen my share of pocket lackeys in my day, but this is before I rated a star on my dressing room door, when I was the Cromwell kid, the one with the rather good legs in the second row.
Well, what else have you been doing?
Well, for one thing, I've signed Jack Benny for the annual charity benefit show.
That's nice. What else?
What do you mean, what else? Did you hear what I just said?
Of course I heard you, my sweet. You signed somebody for the annual Ivy benefit show.
It's not just somebody, Toddy. Jack Benny.
Oh? How did you manage to persuade this John Benny to help out?
Not John, Toddy. Jack.
Oh. You know, the instant intimacy established between two members of the theatrical world is a beautiful thing. 3 minutes after meeting for the first time, you find them locked in a fervent embrace, calling each other darling, swearing never to part again. And as they leave each other, murmuring, he looks a lot thinner in pictures. I wonder if he wears a girdle.
You know so much about it, dear. You must know who Jack Benny is.
Oh, the name's familiar to me, of course. Jack Benny, yes, he's in radio, isn't he?
Mr. Benny is radio.
Rather an all-encompassing statement, my dear, it seems to me. How about Carlton Bourne and Meet the Funny People?
That's two shows, darling. People are funny and Meet the People. Toddy, you don't seem to realize what a wonderful thing it's going to be to have Jack Benny here, right here on the campus. The greatest drawing party we've ever had.
Someone at the door, Vicky.
Well, all right, darling, I'll get it. You
Bell, doorbell, telephone bell, classroom bell.
I'd like you to meet Mr. Morton, Milton Morton, Mr. Bennett's advance man.
Oh, yes. How do you do, Mr. Morton?
Hiya, Dr. Hall. Thought as long as I was fixing up this guest shot for Jack, I might as well meet the big wheel. Probably won't have to bother you with details. I think I got everything nailed down okay.
Nailed down?
Oh, he just means he's got everything under control, dear. The publicity, billboards, concessions, parking facilities,
Incidentally, is there a hunk of high brass around here named Willman or Woolman or something? Or Clarence Woolman?
Clarence Wellman?
Oh, yeah, that's him, Clarence Wellman. What goes with him anyway?
Oh, hypertension. And an interesting assortment of anxiety neuroses to give you a clinical answer, Mr. Morton. Why do you ask?
Well, he's been chasing me around all day yesterday and this morning on the telephone. He's up on his big fat ear about something, and, well, I've been ducking him till I could finish my job. Who did you say he was?
Mr. Wellman is the chairman of the Board of Governors of Ivy College.
Oh, fine. Got to be such a pest yesterday that I had been leaving messages all around town telling him to go fry a pig. What is this typhoid Mary's particular grief? Does he hate actors?
No. To be perfectly fair to Mr. Wellman, he has nothing but the best interests of this college at heart.
Yeah, then why...
However, his methods are somewhat lacking in grace. Apparently, he has a heart of gold and an abiding fear that someone will report his possession of it to the government. How about a little coffee, Mr. Morton?
No, thanks. I had my breakfast earlier. 2 Boilermakers and a pound of Benzedrine. No, I just wanted to check in, Doctor, and tell you how we appreciate Mrs. Hall.
Oh, nonsense.
I don't think it's nonsense, Victoria. Merely to know you is to appreciate you. Thank you for coming by, Mr. Morton, and I'm sure Mr. Bunny's appearance will be most successful.
It's Benny, dear, not Bunny.
Oh, well, wasn't there a John Bunny? Stout chap. Played opposite a woman named Flora Finch, I believe. When I was a boy...
No, that was another fellow, Doctor. No, this is Jack Benny. Rhymes with Penny if he can arrange it. And believe me, he can. Inside joke, I tell you. Mrs. Hall, thanks for your help, and take my word for it, you were a help. Now, never underrate her, Doc. This kid's really hep. Well, it's nice to have met you both.
Goodbye.
Well, it's nice to know I am married to a charming, beautiful woman who is also a kid that is hep. I suppose from Mr. Morton's tone of voice that this is the show business equivalent of the Nobel Prize.
Yes, it was intended to be complimentary, at least. Yeah, I'm going over to the auditorium, Toddy.
Wait a minute, darling. I'll go to the door.
Dr. Hall.
Oh, please come in. Well,
I did not come over here for bandy words, Dr. Hall. I came because of the situation which this campus, which affects seriously the dignity and the... what I mean is when Ivy College must stoop to acquire the services of a radio buffoon... bolster some charity affair. It's a pretty how do you do, Mrs. Hall.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Wellman?
I assume you are speaking of the guest appearance here of Mr. Jack Benny.
I certainly am. It's sad enough that we should seek the assistance of this performer, and worse, that the wife of our president should not only have instigated this affair...
Mr. Wellman.
What is it?
Specifically, what is your complaint?
Do you object to Mr. Benny as a performer, Mr. Wellman?
Definitely not, Mrs. Hall. As radio comedians go, he is probably very good. In fact, he is good. I have heard him several times myself. He has even made me laugh. Out loud.
No.
Yes. What?
Nothing.
Oh. Do you realize what this man and his accomplices have done, Dr. Hall?
No, but anyone who can make you laugh out loud, Mr. Wellman, must have powers denied to ordinary mortals. But what has this genius done now?
It is disgraceful. As you must know, there are certain coincidental sources of revenue which accompany many public and semi-public functions here at Ivy. Extra chair rentals, parking concessions, refreshments, programs. These are things which have traditionally been the rights and prerogatives of local people.
That's exactly what...
Do you know who has by some sort of conniving made arrangements to handle all these concessions himself?
You don't mean...
Jack Benny! He signed up every possible need of revenue. He will sell the programs. He will rent the extra chairs. He will sell the hot dogs. The beer and the popcorn. He will park the cars. And for 29 cents, he will wash the cars.
Spoken to Mr. Morton about it?
I can't catch up with the man. I telephoned him all day yesterday, nor morning this morning. And when I finally did get word from him, I was told to go fry a pig.
Mr. Wellman, was there anything illegal or unethical in the manner in which these concessions were acquired by Mr. Benny?
Well, no, but it has always been... traditionally, they have always... local businessmen have always assumed... they have always taken it for granted that...
What group of local businessmen, Mr. Wellman?
Well, I wouldn't exactly say it was a group, but the fact remains that...
You mean that one local man has always had these concessions?
Yes, but...
Anyone we know, Mr. Wellman?
Yes, that is...
Would the money from these concessions have been turned over to the charity, Mr. Wellman?
The group concerned has always given very generously.
Well, I will not pursue the question. I believe in the principle of give and let give. Good night, Mr. Wellman.
Get it. Dr. Hall's residence. Oh, yes, Mr. Morton. Indeed you may. We'll be delighted. Yes. Goodbye. Jack Benny is on his way over.
He is? Well, now, do I need any particular coaching or information to talk to a radio comedian?
Darling, you don't need any coaching to talk to anybody.
Oh, I'm not too sure, my sweet. In any business or profession, there are certain subjects to be avoided.
Yeah, well, don't worry about Mr. Benny. There's nothing... Oh, yes. Yes, there is one thing.
What's that?
Well, he made one rather unfortunate motion picture. Well, we better not refer to it.
Oh, no. No, of course we haven't. Cinematic skeleton in the professional closet. What picture was it?
Oh, dear, I can't remember the name of it. It was, Someone Blew Something at Midnight.
Well, it would be safest, I suppose, not to talk about motion pictures at all. Fortunately, I am not particularly loquacious on the subject. Billy Dove, I think, was my last really emotional...
Oh, dear. You let him in, Toddy. I'll run upstairs and get my fixture. Imagine me being so nervous.
Well, I guess it's up to me. Can't think of a single joke. Oh, well. One shouldn't tell jokes to a comedian anyway. He couldn't afford to admit he hasn't heard it before.
Oh, Dr. Hall, I'm Jack Benny.
Ah, yes, Mr. Benny, we were expecting you. Please come in.
Thank you.
May I take your hat? And your violin case?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Doctor.
I'll put your hat here on the table. And the violin case in the corner. A valuable instrument, is it?
Trash.
Really? A Stradivarius?
Well, no, just a Strad. A friend of mine makes them, Herman Stradney. That is, he used to make them before his accident.
Accident? Oh, nothing serious?
No, just a few bruises on the throat. He tried to sell one to Heifetz. You've heard of them, Jack Heath, Heifetz. Is Mrs. Hall here, Doctor?
Oh, yes, she'll be down in just a minute. Sit down, won't you? Can I get you something to drink?
Why, yes. If you have some, I'd like a glass of beer.
Fine. I'll get it for you.
Gee, the Halls have a nice home here. Hey, this must be his diploma on the wall. Let's see what it says. Semperis Universitum. Know all ye men that William Todd Hunter Hall has this day been made a Bachelor of Arts. Bachelor?
Then what is she? Oh, I guess he got that diploma while he was single. That reminds me of the one I have hanging on my back porch. Sick tempest, a victim, hike et valorum. Not responsible for laundry left over 30 days. See, look at all the books the professor has here. Look at the title. Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. Einstein's Field of Nuclear Fission. The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire by Gibbon. The G-String Murder Mystery by Gypsy Lee. See, the professor sure has good taste in books. I ought to know. I read them all except the G-String Murder Mystery. Be happy, go lucky.
We'll be down in just a minute.
Oh, fine, fine. Nice place you have here, Doctor.
Yes, thank you. It's very comfortable, but I imagine it looks rather insignificant compared to Radio City.
Oh, I don't live in Radio City. Oh, no, see, I live in California.
Oh, do you really? Well, I've many friends out there. Dr. Lyon and I carried on one chess game for 18 months over the long-distance phone.
You did? Long distance?
Oh, yes, indeed. It's quite a usual custom among college professors.
18 months?
Of course, in this case, it was exceptional. We were very evenly matched.
Oh. Is Dr. Lyon a banker?
No. He's president of Pomona College.
Oh. 18 months. Long distance. See, 3 times 4 is 12. 18, which is 6. Well, I'm very glad to meet you, Dr. Hall.
Thank you. You live in Hollywood, Mr. Benny?
Beverly Hills. See, I live there because it's very expensive.
Well, I must say that seems an odd reason.
Oh, well, prestige, you know, and you can get far better prices.
Prices? For what?
Oh, laundry, car wash, everything. You know.
That's very funny, Mr. Benny. Very funny indeed. I must remember that you are a comedian.
Yes. Yes, you must.
Ah, darling, this is my wife, Mr. Benny, Victoria, Mr. Jack Benny.
How do you do, Mrs. Hall?
I'm delighted to meet you, Mr. Benny, and so grateful. I can't tell you how kind you were to come here to Ivy.
Oh, it's nothing.
Oh, but it is.
Nothing?
No, it's a great deal. I still read my variety, and I know what prices are these days. I just read last week that Mr. Benny's salary at the Palladium in London
Oh, please, Mrs. Hall. You know how theatrical trade papers exaggerate, and when you figure the rate of its change, it was nothing at all. I came back with nothing, really.
Nothing? Nothing?
Well, it wouldn't even be a telephone bill for Dr. Hall. 18 months.
Vicky, we were talking about California. Mr. Benny lives in Beverly Hills.
Yes. I'm right next door to Ronald Colman.
The who?
Ronald Colman, the movie actor.
Oh, Father, you've heard of him.
Oh, yes, I remember. Yes, saw him in, let me see, A Tale of Two Cities. Overplayed it a bit, I thought.
Yes, I thought so.
Well, I just love him.
Oh, we're very close friends. You see, neighbors can be so close, don't you think?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, yes, one can learn and profit much from one's neighbor.
Yes. Can't one? Yes, indeed. Ronnie and Benita. That's Mr. Coleman's wife. Such nice people. See, we exchange Christmas cards every year.
Do you? I dearly love Christmas cards.
You do? Really?
Yes.
Well, that's sort of a hobby with me. I almost never go away without some. I think that somewhere, let me think. Oh, yes, of course, how silly of me. I always carry samples in my violin case.
Excuse me, Mr. Benny.
Oh, you go right ahead, Doc. Now, in this collection, Mrs. Hall, I have some beautiful snow scenes, and there's some churches. And, oh, yes, I do remember putting in a few of ivy-covered colors.
Dr. Hall speaking. Oh, yes, Professor. Well, I'm busy just now, but may I call you back? When? About 12 o'clock tonight, right after the show? All right, Professor. Goodbye.
Who was it, dear?
Professor Hornblower, darling, but he's going out and won't be back until quite late. I must talk to him and his wife about redecorating the Great Hall. Now, don't forget to remind me.
To do what?
To call them.
Call who?
The Hornblowers at midnight.
Here's your bill, Doctor.
Bill, are you being paid in advance, Mr. Benny?
Well, so many people change their minds about Christmas cards.
Christmas cards?
Well, yes, dear. Mr. Benny just happened to have some that I absolutely loved, so
Of course, darling. I'm delighted. Particularly with the sacrifice Mr. Benny is making to be here. I'm glad you bought a few.
Well, thank you. Here's the bill.
Oh, let's see. Jack Benny's Tower of Space, Screen Radio, and Television. Christmas cards, $12 a hundred. 200 cards, $24. 200, Vicky. I'm glad I didn't talk on the phone any longer. All right, here is $25, Mr. Benny.
Well, thank you. Well, let's see. Where did I put my violin case? Oh, yeah. Now, here's $3 change. The extra $2 is for Mrs. Hall's theatrical discount.
Thank you. Thank you. Yours was not a misspent youth, Vicky.
Well, excuse me. I'll just see who that is.
This is the life of a college president, Mr. Benny. At the beck and call of bells. Never a moment you can call your own.
It's Mr. Wellman, dear.
Dr. Hall, I heard that Mr. Benny was here.
Yes, he is, Mr. Wellman. Mr. Benny, this is Mr. Clarence Wellman, chairman of our board of governors.
Hello, Clarence.
Mr. Benny, your advance man, Mr. Morton, has tied up every concession in this town. Tickets, the program, the parking, the car wash.
Popcorn.
Yes, popcorn. Concessions that are normally handled by our local group. This I consider most unethical. And in addition to this, he has submitted an expense account.
Well, this is quite proper. We expect to pay all Mr. Benny's expenses.
And another thing, Mr. Wellman, Mr. Benny has come a long distance to help our local charity, and without any fee. This is far more than we had any right to expect. If he has outwitted a local group in manipulating his extracurricular activities so that he emerges with a profit, well, I suggest that we appoint him the dean of our School of Economics. Now, is there anything else, Mr. Wellman?
No, Dr. Hall, there is not. And don't bother. I can find my way out.
Well, Mrs. Hall, I hope you're coming to the show tonight.
Oh, we wouldn't miss it for anything. And that student body of ours will be the greatest audience in the world. Well, I know. I've played to them.
Well, I better get out of here and get ready. Thanks very much, Dr. Hall. It's been a real pleasure meeting you both.
We'll see you right after the show, then.
Yes. You must let us take you to the airport.
No, I'm afraid Morton has a car waiting for me.
Oh.
Here's a little note I wrote you, Mrs. Hall. Don't open it until after the show.
Why, all right. Thank you.
And Dr. Hall, if you ever come to Beverly Hills, give me a ring, will you?
I would be delighted.
You know, somehow I feel just as if you were a neighbor of mine. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Wasn't the show absolutely wonderful?
It certainly was. And so was Jack Benny. I haven't laughed so much for years. Dickie, doesn't he play that violin abominably?
Oh, he does.
By the way, have you read his note yet?
His note? Oh, his note. I forgot it. I have it in my bag.
Well, read it, son.
Dear Mrs. Hall, I saw you in London a long time ago in Give Them Tears. When I found out it was you that wanted me to come, I couldn't wait. Isn't that charming? You gave me tears in London, so I hope I've given you a few laughs that I did. Incidentally, though I hate to admit it, I think your husband is terrific. My best always, Jack Bennett. P.S. The enclosed check is the concession money I took from Mr. Wellman and his, quote, local group, unquote. Will you give it to the charity with my love and affection? Besides, I made an absolute killing in Christmas cards.
We'll be seeing you next week at this time at the Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman. Ken Carpenter speaking.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
isn't ish-kabibble, Kitty.
The makers of Bluebonnet Margarine and Tenderleaf Tea present The Fred Allen Show, with Fred's guest, Miss Beatrice Lilly, Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, Alan Reed as Falstaff Openshaw, the Tenderleaf Workshop Players, the DeMarco Sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And in a few minutes, I will be Senator Claghorn. But right now, my name is Kenny Delmar. Last week, ladies and gentlemen, a leading magazine selected America's 10 best-dressed men. Tonight, we bring you a man who was 11th in the first 10. His wardrobe is baggy right up to his eyes. And here he is, Fred Allen.
Thank you. Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Kenny, today with the clothing shortage, you know, a man doesn't worry about being well-dressed. He just worried about being dressed.
Yes, Fred.
Now, wait a minute. Something might have developed. Don't start off that way with 30 minutes to go. Treading on the possible laughs, you know, treading on the lulls.
I was being a pessimist about the whole thing.
A pessimist, a new thing you invented.
It's quite a problem,
the clothing, yes. Well, men's clothes, tying us back into the subject so cleverly. Men's clothes are so scarce, Kenny. In this month's Esquire, the Varga girls have more on than the men. I'd like to be Mahatma Gandhi until this clothing shortage blows over, Kenny.
Uh-huh.
You know, after dinner, Gandhi lowers his napkin a little, and he's dressed for the street.
You say that there are no...
Thank you, Mother.
That's my line.
It's really Mrs. Burl. I'm giving her a job till Milton gets going.
Well, Fred, to get back to the suits, you say
Yes,
there are no suits in the city, Fred?
No, so Kenny, this morning I saw a little moth flying back and forth in front of a Crawford clothing store. The moth was singing Memories. And if you don't think that a moth can... Well, Portland, see you there. Is that little package you have there a present for me?
No, it's some iodine for Mama.
Iodine?
Mama was walking by a pawn shop. The sign fell down and hit her.
A pawn shop sign hit your mother?
Mama has 3 big lumps on her head.
We get a nice class of people. They don't know what pawn shops are. On the Benny program, that would have been sensational. But tell me, with all of those lumps, how does your mother know which lump is her head?
Oh, Mama holds up a piece of meat.
Uh-huh.
The lump that snaps at it is her head.
The lump. Oh, there's always more trouble at your house.
Yes. Last night, Mama's big rubber plaque grew up the wall and erased 2 etchings.
Erased 2 etchings? Well, what else is new?
They sent another message to the moon this week.
Oh, I read that. What happened?
An answer came back for the Treasury Department.
Well, what did the moon say to the Treasury Department?
I'm down to my last quarter, too.
Some old radio writers up there on the moon. They'll catch him yet. Well, I haven't heard from the moon, but this week I did get a message from the sun.
Oh, what did the sun say?
If I don't pay last month's subscription, they're going to stop sending the paper.
Did you read that Bing Crosby's going back on his radio program?
Yes, his sponsor must be very happy.
Oh, he is. His sponsor said, if I have to have a singer,
yeah,
it might as well be Bing.
Might as well be Bing. And speaking of Bing and his program, reminds me, we better cheese it along down to Allen's Alley.
Have you a question?
Ah, you bet, it says here. Last week, public health authorities warned the nation that this month is the month to beware of catching cold. And so our question tonight is, are you taking precautions? And if you are, what is your favorite remedy for curing a cold?
Shall we go?
As the centipede said when he got the chill, I think I'll shake a leg. Well, Portland, as usual, all is serene down here in Allen's Alley. The senator's home, there's a letter in his mailbox from Mr. F.E. Boone of Lexington, Kentucky. I'll knock and see what happens.
Somebody knock.
Yes, I know.
Claghorn's the name, Senator Claghorn.
I know you're from the South.
When I'm in New York, I'll never go to the Yankee Stadium.
Now, wait a minute.
I won't even I'm going to see the Giants unless the Southpaw's pitching.
Well, look,
I refuse to watch the Dodgers unless Dixie Walker's playing.
Now, wait a minute.
Stop interrupting. Where's your manners?
Manners, I have more...
Try listening. You might learn something.
Listen, all I'll ever learn...
Your tongue's wagging like a blind dog's tail in a meat market.
You're winded, hey?
Just sucking in some air, son.
Well, leave a little. I'm breathing, too, you know. Tell me, Senator, what is Washington doing about cold prevention?
The Senate reconvened just in time.
Yeah?
Hold on now.
Your hand's dripping, Senator.
I was glad to see Senator Aikenback. Aikenback, that's a joke.
I know it's a joke.
That was a Swanee side split.
I wouldn't...
That was a Shreveport Shrieker.
Listen, you don't know what it is.
I keep tossing them and you just sidestep them.
Well, look. Now, wait.
Say, you're a regular sack. Sack, that is.
Now, you wait. Tell me, cool off. Now, just a second. Do you have a favorite cure for a cold?
I caught a cold last week.
Yeah?
Like to ruin my filibuster.
Ruin your filibuster? What did you do?
I took an old Southern remedy, son. I drank down 2 buckets of hot mint juleps.
Gosh.
I kept right on filibustering.
You drank 2 buckets of hot mint juleps and you still held the floor?
Held the floor, son. I couldn't get up off it.
Well, the senator looks like a New England dinner tonight. He sure is boiled. Well, I wonder how Titus Moody is doing this evening.
Howdy, Bob.
Say, Mr. Moody, you look a little tired.
I know. I was up all night. Couldn't get a wink.
You didn't sleep a wink?
No, it wasn't that. Somebody stole my tiddly.
Mr. Moody, have you done anything to fend off colds?
No, colds don't bother none. It's the rheumatism.
Oh, rheumatism, eh?
Yeah, the rheumatism took my grandpa. He died all bent over.
Died all bent over, huh?
Yeah, they started to roll Grant to the cemetery like a hoop.
Yeah?
Coasting down the hill, he got away from the pallbearers.
What did they finally do?
They buried Gramp in a drum.
A bass drum?
No, snare drum. He was a little man.
Oh, well. Well, Mr. Moody, tell me, has this cold epidemic hit your farm?
Why, my bull caught awful cold out in the pasture.
Got in a draft?
Yeah, somebody left the gate open.
Oh, that'll do it. Well, did you treat the bull?
Yeah. First I wrapped him in blankets to get him sweating.
Yeah?
Then I rubbed him all over with turpentine.
Would this cure your bull?
I don't know. I ain't caught him yet.
Have you been a victim yourself?
No, but my wife had a nasty cold.
Did you call the doctor?
Yeah. Gall down quack, give her sulfur and molasses. Put in too much sulfur.
Well, how can you tell he gave her too much sulfur?
When my wife sits in the dark, she glows.
Well, are you doing anything about it?
Why, Senator Claghorn, a foreigner next door, he sent me over a bucket of hot mint julep.
For your wife?
No, for me. Tonight I'm getting lit up to keep her company. So long,
Looks as though Titus is going to get lit up on his weekend. Well, let's see what a knock here will start.
No.
Ah, Mrs. Nussbaum.
You're expecting maybe two la-lula bankers?
No. Tell me, Mrs. N, have you had any colds in your house?
My husband Pierre is sick.
Oh, really?
They are maybe sending him to a clinic. The Meyer brothers.
Oh, the Meyer brothers. Well, didn't Pierre try any cold remedies?
Every day is on new remedies. First he is bringing home fruit to drinking fruit juices.
What kind?
Oranges, grapefruits, tambourines.
All of the citrus fruit.
If you could squeeze it, Pierre's got it.
Well, how long did he drink the fruit juices?
1 day.
Mm-hmm.
Then Pierre is opening up the window and throwing out the fruit.
Oh, he had another remedy?
Vitamins from vegetables.
Oh, good.
He's bringing home carrots, stringler beans, and rutabagas.
How long did he try vitamins?
One day.
One day again.
Pierre is opening up the window and throwing out the waiter supper.
He had yet another remedy?
Sunshine.
Oh.
He is bringing home a sun lamp, a tube unguentine, also smoked glasses.
Well, how long did he try sunshine?
One day.
One day again.
Pierre is opening up the window and throwing out the sun lamp, the tube unguentine, also the smoked glasses.
He had another cure?
Absolute rest.
Oh.
He's staying in bed.
Uh-huh.
I am bringing meals. I'm bringing pills. I'm bringing hot water bottles.
Well, how long did this last?
One day.
And then?
I am opening up the window and throwing out Pierre.
Well, here we are at the last shack in Allen's Alley. Let's see what happens here.
Roses are red, jonquils are yellow, Falstaff is here, and the stuff is mellow.
Falstaff, you have been sweating out new cantos?
Oh, indubitably. Have you heard, said Mr. Fairless to Mr. Murray, I'll open my steel mills, what's your hurry?
No.
Or, this week in Brazil, Mayor LaGuardia's a hero. He's no longer the hat. He is now the sombrero.
No.
How about, stop breathing on the percolator, Mother? You're too old to be blowing your top?
Now, wait. Tonight we're simply discussing the common cold and its prevention.
Precisely why I am here.
Yes?
I have rolled a rondo.
What is your cold poem called?
Attention, you men of science.
How does it go?
Attention, you men of science. Stop advancing civilization and turn your efforts to solving an enigma that baffles the nation. Oh, I know you've harnessed the atom. Jet propulsion you mastered last June. Radar you've reduced to a plaything. And now you're in touch with the moon. But one small microbe defies you. And science is 10,000 years old. You haven't subdued coryza, the germ of the common cold. So attention, you men of science. Until this germ you confront right, half of this country will be sneezing, and the other half saying Gesundheit.
Now that Falstaff has received this cold reception, we turn to some hot music. Our 5 DeMarco sisters, abetted by Maestro Al Goodman and a sizzling symphony, sing, Did You Ever Get That Feeling in the Moonlight?
Did you ever get that feeling in the moonlight? That wonderful feeling that you want to be kissed. You're strolling in the park, the stars so bright above. You love somebody, but there's nobody there to love. Did you ever get that longing on a June night? That wonderful longing you can never resist. Did you ever get that feeling in the moonlight? That feeling that says you want to be kissed. Did you ever get that feeling in the moonlight? That feeling that you want to be kissed. You're strolling in the park, the stars so bright above. Oh, you love to love somebody, but there's nobody there to love. Did you ever get that longing on a June night? That longing you can never resist. Did you ever get that feeling in the moonlight? That feeling that says you want to be kissed. That feeling that says you want to be kiss, 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 kiss,
And now stand by for a worthwhile suggestion.
A suggestion about something good to eat makes us all take notice, so here's one for the book. Made popovers lately? Why not surprise your folks with some soon? Big puffy ones, crispy, golden brown, piping hot, with lots of Bluebonnet melting into them. Yes, Bluebonnet, the margarine that gives you flavor, nutrition, economy, all three. Bluebonnet has a delicious flavor. Fresh, delicate, country sweet. And it keeps its delicate, delightful flavor even when half melted on piping hot food. Bluebonnet margarine is packed with nutrition, too. Rich in food energy, rich in vitamin A. As for economy, Bluebonnet saves you real money. It costs so little you can spread it on twice as thick. And boy, you want to. And don't forget, Bluebonnet margarine is a product of the makers of Fleischmann's yeast. That fact alone tells you it must be good. Ask your grocer for Bluebonnet tomorrow. Remember the letters FNE for flavor, nutrition, economy. Bluebonnet margarine gives all three: flavor, nutrition, economy.
That was Dr. Lawyer Indian Chief, a midget version, played by Al Goodman and his Grand Concourse Grenadiers. Yes, yes, Portland?
Who is your guest tonight?
Well, I haven't any guests.
Oh, I thought you had Evelyn and her magic violin.
Well, I thought I did, too, but Evelyn broke a string on the magic violin, and Spitalny couldn't get his hands on a cat in time, so the whole thing fell through.
Well, I read in Earl Wilson's column that Beatrice Lilly just arrived in New York from London.
Say, Bea Lilly, she's the famous musical comedy star.
You mean the British Castelli?
Now, Portland, please. Do not jeopardize our friendly relations with England. Bea Lilly, you know, she would make a swell guest for tonight. I think I'll run over to Miss Lilly's hotel.
Yes?
Is Miss Lilly in?
I'm Beatrice Lilly.
Miss Lilly?
Oh, you may call me Bee.
Bee?
As in a hive. That's a joke, son.
I know.
Oh, that was a Liverpool Lulu.
Now, please, Miss Lilly, my name is Fred Allen.
Now, that's what I like about you American men. You're so impulsive. We've barely met and you've told me your name.
Well, in England, you do things differently.
When a gentleman meets a lady in England, the lady extends her hand, the gentleman kisses it.
If you will extend your hand.
With the meat shortage? Not likely.
Well, Miss Lilly, I'll come right to the point. I am in radio.
Radio? Oh, you mean the wireless.
Oh, that's right. In England, you do call radio the wireless.
Yes, yesterday I asked the man to direct me to Wireless City.
You meant... You meant Radio City.
Well, this gentleman told me that at the moment all of New York was wireless. So he handed me a sign and we had a ripping time marching up and down all day.
Well, Miss Lilly, you may not know it, but you were picketing Western Union. Tell me, what is radio like in London? I hear it's a bit of the old drab.
The old drab? On the contrary. British radio is a frolic from sun-up to bedtime.
A frolic? Well, what programs go to make up a day on the BBC?
Well, we're up at the crack of dawn to hear Dr. Mickelman's concert hour.
Dr. Mickelman has a big orchestra?
Just a flute.
You sit through a whole hour of flouting?
Well, 2 hours until 8 o'clock.
What happens at 8 o'clock?
Well, from 8 to 12, there's an educational talk by Professor Swaffin. He's a royal taxidermist.
After 2 hours of fluting, you sit through 4 hours of talking?
Oh, it's very exciting. Professor Swaffin is running a series on how to stuff a field mouse.
Oh.
As Professor Swaffin lectures, we all sit by our radios, stuffing our field mice.
What happens when you stop stuffing your field mice?
Dr. Mickelman comes back with his flute. And he plays till sundown.
Well, that takes care of British daytime radio. Now, what happens at night?
Oh, it's generally quite gay.
Really?
Little boys playing drum solos, chess games are broadcast. Then late at night, Professor Swaffin returns for another lecture.
And everybody starts stuffing their field mice again?
Professor Swabin's night lecture is called How to Stuff an Owl.
Oh, phenomenal. This fills in the rest of the evening.
Yes. BBC goes off the air with Dr. Mickelman and his flute playing When You Come to the End of a Perfect Day.
Well, radio in America is quite different, Miss Lilly.
Oh, you don't stuff field mice?
Oh, no. Radio listeners here stuff their ears. Now, why don't you come on my program tonight and I can show you how we work it here?
Oh, sorry, Fred. I'm much too busy. I'm here looking for material for a new review I'm doing in London next month.
Bea, if you would be interested in a smash musical show for London, your search is over.
Oh, you have a show?
A show? Why, in London it'll be bigger than Alfred Hitchcock any way you look at him.
Well, what's it called?
Piccadilly.
Piccadilly? What does it say about?
Well, as the curtain rises, you hear a fanfare. The scene is Piccadilly Circus. It's C. Aubrey Smith's birthday, and all London is in a festive mood. As the show starts, the merry Londoners break into song. Piccadilly in the land of shilling, pence, and pounds.
Where a cop, a bobby, something smock, is nobby, and the subway's called the Underground.
Picadilly, it's the art of London, and it's so.
Britannia rules each wave, every man is brave, and the only coward there is Noel.
It's the Isle of the fat and free suit, the land that gave Winston the boot. And when we say...
Music,
Now,
please.
stop the singing, really.
B, is something wrong?
Sir, this music's from Oklahoma.
Now, look, B,
Well, look here, you can't steal the whole score from Oscar Hammerstein and Dick Rogers.
the Oscar Hammerstein and Richard Rogers have 5 hit shows all going now. All day long, they do nothing but count money. They never look up. How will they know that one of their little shows is missing?
I can't star in a black market play.
Well, look, the rest of the show is entirely different, B. Now, listen to this next scene.
But what is it?
But you are Daisy. You're a treacle girl in a pudding shop.
A treacle girl?
If a customer comes in, an old pudding fiend, and orders pudding and wants a little treacle on it...
I rush off with my treacle cruet and paw.
Yes. You're a young, innocent girl.
I see. I'm good, but I'm sticky.
Right. Now, as this next scene opens, you are waiting for your bus. It's a typical London spring morning. As a tribute to a spring day in London, you sing...
There are days that I feel I should chuck it when the rain's coming down by the bucket. It's a nice day for ships. The sky drips and drips. I'm here in a puddle, clear up to my hips. Oh, what an infamous morning. Oh, what a typical day. The streets full of flotsam and jetsam, and everything's coming my way.
Oh, what a grisly morning. Oh, what a ghastly day. I have a miserable feeling that this is the way it will stay.
Oh, what a frightfully lousy day.
Well, that was wonderful, B.
What's next, Fred?
Well, now comes the love scene. I am your sweetheart, Herbert. We have a clandestine rendezvous at Kensington Gardens. We're sitting on a park bench, and you speak.
Herbert, anxious heavenly.
Darcy, I've got a question to pop.
Oh, Herbert.
But Darcy...
You touched my hand.
But I had me mitten on.
Yes, but our reputations, Herbert. People will talk.
But Darcy...
Remember the rules of English courtship, Herbert? Certain don'ts we must observe.
Certain don'ts?
Don't bone my chipper for me. Don't slap my bicycle clip. Don't put salt on my fish and chips. People will say we're enamored.
Don't tug my tea bag string. Don't filch my crumpet crumbs. Don't sniff my chrysanthemums. The neighbors will say we're infatuated. Is that good?
Don't jostle my snooker cue. Herbert, please don't get gay.
Darcy, I won't even look at you. The hoi polloi will sigh with that Say, if I rehearse a little more, this play will be a sensation in London, B. Now, the next scene is the big climax.
Tell me, what happened?
Well, your father refuses to let us marry. As the scene opens, you are pleading. You say...
Have an art paper? Herbert wants to take me to America.
America? My little Daisy live among those savages. The Chippewas, the Algonquins, the Brooklyn Dodgers.
But I have a job waiting for me, sir. Work in Canada.
Herbert's renting a North. He's going with the Northwest Mounties.
But Canada, Daisy, it's still blasted cold. The temperature goes down to 10 beneath the cipher.
Freezing weather won't bother me none, sir.
You say you don't mind the cold? Why don't you?
I shall tell you why I don't, sir. For the cold I don't give a newt. 'cause I'm wearing my new union suit. Yes, I'm wearing my new union suit with the hinge on the back. With my hinge quite a figure I'm a-cuttin'. Down the Strand you can all see me struttin'. Fits me close and keeps me comfy, and there is no slack. The cloth pure wool and the buttons are brown. The seams sure hold it together. The arms roll up and the legs roll down in case there's a change in the weather. To Lend-Lease I give all the credit. They sent me a suit and I shall never, never forget it. In such a suit there is nothing that any bloke can ever lack. It's me, itchy little suit with the hinge on the back. Well, there you are, Bea. As soon as your father finds out I have a union suit, the wedding day is set. In the big finale, we are on the Queen Elizabeth about to sail for Canada. As the boat pulls out, we hear the merry villagers singing,
Picadilly!
You can get there by omnibus or tram.
Where we never pick it. We just play cricket. Where the AEF left all its lamb.
That's the Peters land, ale and Noddy. The land of the new Labour Party. And now we say, we make the same. Where was the youth of Picadilly? Picadilly. P-I-C-A-D-I and a white Picadilly.
Picadilly.
Thank you very much. You hear a lot about Miss America. We bring you now a tribute to Mrs. America.
The world takes its hat off to Mrs. America for a great many things. Her beauty, her wit, the way she cares for her children and manages her home. One characteristic that brings her fame is that she's so practical. That comes out in her buying, of course. And when it comes to T-balls, she buys more Tenderleaf brand T-balls than any other kind. Practical is the word for these finer T-balls. They are better in every way. The tea inside is famous for flavored Tenderleaf brand tea. And the filter paper that makes the packets is tasteless and insoluble. This is a modern, gracious, convenient way to serve tea with meals and between. Put in a supply when you want a cup of quick comfort in a hurry.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.